Kimberbell's Let It Snow. This is our second sew along, and we are working on this adorable pillow. I did finally get the spreadsheet done, and I will post it on the website. Actually, that's a grading thing. I don't even know how to do it, and I don't think she'll be in until Friday. But it's done, and if you really need it beforehand, I can send it to you. I did send it out to a couple of people, but I did finally finish it. Took me longer to do than I thought it was going to do. Hang on. I'm just going to set up my computer. Live. Let it snow. It is myself and myself. I know. I've been not as good at sending stuff out, letting you know when stuff's going to happen. Just showing up. Good morning. Is that Lita? Hi, Miss Lita. I know you didn't get anything. Just me showing up. If you want to stitch with me, great. You can watch it later. I am going to start with letting Poppy out because otherwise she'll be scratching and ringing the bell. Okay, you leave your brother alone. Momo always wants to go out when I give him a treat. Good morning! Where are you, Sharon, if you're not home sewing? Do you have to work today? You working? Patrick is, we finally got some snow. I think this is in the, I'm going to start with the Snowman and the Snowman's head, which you need a hoop that will accommodate 6.5 by 8.5, which is going to be my 7 by 12. Someday is going to be play day for me. I'm just going to live feed forever. I'm just going to show up and be like, here I am. Today we work on, and then we'll have something amazing to work on. So I just cut this off. It's 11.5 inches wide. I use muslin instead of my stabilizer, and I use it as a base. It's definitely not appropriate for a lot of things. And you'll even see when I like press stuff out that there's like eyelashing, and because like the weave's not going to be as strong as your stabilizer to hold your stitches in place. But if you are working with background fabric that has SF101, which is fusible woven on it, and you are you have batting on there, and then you have stabilized applique pieces and all of that, then it's good enough for your base. And I just like it because when I press it out, it just feels softer and less plasticky than no-show or poly mesh or whatever you want to call it. All of that kind of stabilizer. So I just prefer to use this. I just feel like it's more pliable too when you're pressing out. So if you do get like puckers or something, that'll come out more easily with the muslin. I could be wrong. I could just be making it all up in my head. And if you ever want, and I like this because I know what I'm getting, although it has changed to like a permanent press. It used to be like softer, but then they discontinued the one I was getting, and then it's the same. It's just, it's not as soft, but and that's kind of nice. I mean, it's nice too. I think it's a permanent press now. I think that's the difference. And I like that it's 90 inches. So I just cut it I just cut strips that are with the fabric for whichever hoop I'm using. And I love this 7 by 12 hoop. This is the hoop I use, like, I'd say I probably use this one most, and then my 5 by 7. And then I have every other hoop. You need the hoops in all the sizes because you just do. So just treat yourself. You don't have to get them all at once. Just build your stash. Oop, I didn't even load my design yet. Okay, let me grab my fabric, make sure I have everything right. I was putting on the spreadsheet. Where's the spreadsheet? I printed it. Hang on, let me grab it. Spreadsheet. Where are you, spreadsheet? Oh. So I was printing out these last night. This is a Riley Blake project. It's their homestead. I'm going to stitch these. I don't have anything on my 10 needle right now. I wanted to get noodling. Not needling. Not noodling. I do noodle too. Noodle on thought. I think noodling isn't that what they call it when you go looking for, when you grab catfish, like you catfish fish with your hands? I think that's called noodling. I could be wrong. Okay, here's the amazing spreadsheet. And this was what took me so long. I was putting this together. When we prepped, sometimes I go into just autopilot mode. I would have left these all in one piece. So, and we'll talk about this more later. But if you bought a kit from us, we had a couple different options. So we didn't have this fabric, which I'm hoping will be back out this January. This is like such an important fabric, and they've been sold out everywhere. So our kits, we gave you an option where you could do this and you could have this as your inner border. That's what I'm going to be doing. I pre-cut these, and if I had been thinking, I would have left them all in one piece because that's what I prefer to do, is I'll cut the batting, but then cut this all in one piece, or leave the batting. It's up to you. We'll talk about that more later. But I wrote that here in the instructions, you know. I'm going to do 2 hoopings with 4 strips at a time. And then this is the size that I'm going to be putting in for both the 18.5 and the 20.5 strips. And then I will cut them down to size. And then same thing for the larger ones. So we'll talk about that more later. But here's the spreadsheet. So if you need it, you can email me. It is not on the website right now. And maybe I can put a link in the description here. I'll see if I can do that, if I can add a link in the description here. Graydon will add this to the website. I don't think I will see her again until Friday, so you might be waiting a little while for that on the website. That's where we put everything these days. All right, we're going to start out by stitching the snowman. Last time we were together, I think we did almost all of the, like the embroidered stuff over here. I still have to do the little pieced blocks and the pinwheels, and then the snowman. And I think that we're done other than the borders. And I cannot see what you're asking or saying. Let me move my computer over for just a little bit. Oh, and I wanted to make sure I had all the right fabric. So I think I need the biggest piece. I didn't mark everything. I think this is going to be all my snowman fabric right here. And this is the biggest piece with the hat, and this little piece I accidentally cut a corner off of. So I think this is it. I did not do scan and cut. I am kind of feeling like I was feeling super out of control over Christmas, barely getting anything done right. And now I'm feeling not totally caught up, but a little bit caught up. I go through phases. Stages and phases. Okay, let's go on over to the machine. I think I transferred everything. I checked last night just to make sure, whoops, I had everything transferred with Design Database. And I think everything was here. And then when it's not, I just use that as a chance to do a little mini lesson. Okay, hang on. Hang on. My naughties. All right. Any questions? Lita, Alaska. We have another customer in Alaska, and she sent me some pictures. Out and prepped this weekend. Started. Sticks to your iron. You know, I've heard that about the Kimberbell poly mesh. I used to use the Baby Lock poly mesh. And that stuff was great. I never had any issues with that. But, I mean, maybe if I, let me see. Let me close that up. I was cleaning up my little work area before this. So, I am looking for background quilting first. And the background quilting from my handy dandy spreadsheet, which I've already lost. Where are you? Here you are. We are doing Snowman Part A, Winter 11 6x8. And sometimes when I don't know what that is, I'll look right here and you can see it's the one with the mittens and everything. So I'm looking for that one, and we're looking for the 6x8 mittens. I'm guessing it's this one. And yes, 6.5 by 8.5. I'm going to go ahead and set that. Back that up a little bit so you can see all my buttons. And now I'm going to add, and we are going to add the snowman head. Oh, I was saying that that Anna sent us a picture of her in the snow, and she said it was 30 below. And then she was outside in like a t-shirt. And I was like, isn't it cold? Okay, you have special alignment here. And when there's special alignment, I'll put it in your spreadsheet. So you can't just leave it like this. You want to align the right side of the block with the right side of the quilting file. I'm going to show you right here in close up right here. Do you see that? So we're going to move. Don't move the design. Don't move it with your finger, because you can move this up and down or move the design behind. The box is already around the snowman's head. I'm going to zoom in to 200%. You can't see that right side over here. So what I have to do is touch my hand, and then I'm going to move it this way. Okay. Now I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to touch my move keys, or you're going to touch the word move. And we want that red line right here to be on the rightmost line of the quilting right there on the orange. See that? That's what you want. You want the red to be on the rightmost line, quilting line. And then we are set and ready to go. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and let's just zoom back out to 100%. Don't move anything yet, because it's going to separate and you have to move them both separately. I'm going to go ahead and say okay here. We're ready to stitch. I'm going to go ahead and touch embroidery. And I like to go to this button down here where I can skip. I can go forward and back over steps. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my hoop size, which I know I already have my 7x12. But if you haven't done that, go to either the gear button or the button that looks like a dog ear. And I'm always talking about what's on a brother and a baby lock machine, because that's what I stitch on. So not that I don't love all your machines. This is just what I'm on. So 7x12, make sure you're at defaults. And then I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And we are ready to go. So put in a color that you can see. We're going to leave that in for our, and I have a red light because this isn't down, because that's the way I roll. And I still have a red light. Carriage is going to move. I have a green light. Say okay. All right, I'm going to get my spray tent and my spray. You guys know I like to use my dime spray tent, and I'm a good old KK100 spray girl. Let me grab my fabric. It has been so rainy here, which is really hard for people from Reno because we are used to lots of sunshine. Oh, you know what I didn't do? And that will annoy me, is I didn't bump it up. So I'm going to bump it up. Sorry, I forgot. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to restitch that. So I want to get to the beginning of that. The easiest thing is to do is for me to just hit 0. The other thing is you cannot move a design if you are not on stitch 0. So all these features here, they'll be grayed out if you are not on stitch 0. You're going to be like, it won't let me do this. Just go to stitch 0. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to move it all the way up, and that saves me all. And I could have just wasted whatever, the 3 inches, but I don't feel like it. So I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to come back here. Let's do that one more time. And I'm going to use that stitch that's higher up. Oh yeah, it's like 1.5 inches, but I can't help myself. Yeah, it's been icky weather, and my poor dogs have not gotten their walks. Let's give this a little shot of spray. It's my batting. Here's my background fabric. This is your second chance to make sure there's nothing icky on the back of here before you stitch it down or anything really dark. So you just don't want it to shadow through. I did not, and I'm using the top line. I just bumped it up. Okay, lay it down. I did not spray my applique pieces or pre-cut them, so I will spray those too as we go. You're just going to center this to the backing. Just feel around with your fingers. Make sure you have about an inch all the way around, inch and a half. Mine feels good. We're going to skip some steps. So I'm going to say okay here. And then I'm going to go on, this is the tack down for the batting. We do not need that. We cut it to size. This is the placement stitch for the background. We've already laid ours down. We do not need that. So what we're stitching is we're stitching step 1, batting placement, and now we're doing background tack down. We are going to do this step. Make sure it's a color you can see. And this is, of course, going to get sewn into the seam allowance, so it doesn't matter if you're using black or red. Just don't use this mint color or this sea green color. Okay, what am I going to quilt with? So I've been kind of throwing in all of my different colors. I could do this, and this is going to blend in so perfectly and be so gorgeous, but I'm not going to be able to see it at all. I could do this. This is my multi, or I could just do silver. And where are the pieces I've stitched already? I'm going to take a peek at those. If I can find them. This is what I've stitched so far. And I've used, this is called the mint green. And I've used that on this one. Really cute. I use mint green on this one. And I use silver on this one. I think I'm going to go silver. This one I did the mint green. And it was so beautiful. Gorgeous! Yes, I haven't even trimmed these out. I thought I'd do them all at once. This would be really good too. The multi. I'm going to use this. This is different than the silver. I'm going to show you the silver. So this has a little bit of all the colors. And I know this looks like it does too, but it doesn't. It looks the same. This is 6001 and this is 6046 or something. I'm going to go with this one. It's just a little more fun. So, I've been ordering the Hollow Shimmer. I'll get some, like, once I can, just doesn't seem like I can catch up, and they don't keep it all in stock, and then I only get what they have. Once I get everything, I'll put up little packs, like variety packs, where you can get, like, one of all of them. But, yeah, I've been basically addicted to it, and it's, like, all I want to use for my background quilting now. So threading up. It might be too much. And we threaded. Okay, I have been turning my speed down. 600 stitches per minute. Let's see how we do. Fun. This one's like a variegated silver. How about we just call it that? Here, I'll show you the difference. It's just a multicolor. So this one's going to be the silver. Okay. And then this one, I don't know if you can see this. It is, can you see that? How there's lots of colors in it. It goes from like a light gold to everything. So it's like almost like a pastel-y multicolor. Good morning, Miss Betty. Okay, so we're going to do the background quilting. And then after that, we're going to skip steps 1 and 2, and we're going to go to step 3. Step 3 is going to skip the tack down and laying down your fabric, because ours is already laid down. And then, what's that say? Step 1. We're going to go straight to right here, placement stitch for the snowman's head. And we're going to need white for that. So get your white thread. That's going to be next step. Oh, where's your sewing machine, Lita? Did you say that it was at the shop? I couldn't remember. I had a tough time rolling out of bed this morning. Like, what happened? Did my thread break? Yeah, it looks like it did. Patrick got us up probably around, I don't know, 7:30. He was talking. I'm so thankful. My dogs for a while were getting up at like 5:30. And they've settled into this new stage where they'll let us sleep until 7:30 or... Okay, we got to go back some stitches. So if you're on this screen, you can just hit -10. And I think -10. I'm going to go another 2 more. Okay. So now they've hit this stage where they're letting us sleep in a little bit. But... Patrick's an early bird. He just always has been. And he just started talking and, I don't know, doing his thing. And I just was dragging. Oh, so what are you doing up in Alaska? Are you just visiting? Oh my goodness, so cute. Do you guys see that? It's just adorable. Okay, might be too much, but I don't care. Let's go ahead and we're going to put in our white. And don't forget, we're going to skip a couple of steps. I always like to say that and not do it. Always use a pressing cloth or Teflon sheet. What are we talking about? For what? What are we using our pressing cloth for? Okay, I'm going to put my white in. White. How about that? Better view. Better view of nothing. Woo! So remember that stage when your kids got big or bigger than you, or they started to be the same size as you, and then you could wear their hand-me-downs? So, I bought this sweater for Violet. It is so cute. It's this like hooded, it's got snowflakes all over it. Skip one more step. This is what you want. You want the blue placement stitch for the snowman face. And I got it for her for Christmas maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago. The girl never wore it. It was in her closet. And I was like, well, I'm going to take this. So I'm wearing her hand-me-downs, but it's so hot. I either have to take it out or turn the heat down in my room. Okay, we're putting this fabric down, which is the white dot. See it? White on white. It's hard to see. Spray the SF101 side. Do not spray the other side by accident. And go ahead and cover the whole placement line. Yes, I've not been using my scan and cut because there's some prep involved, and I've been just busy doing some other stuff. Today, after this, I'm going to layer my zippy bag 3 and get it ready for edge to edge. So I can put up the edge to edge class. This is your tack down. Do your tack down and trim. I gave them both a treat. Momo's treat is still in his mouth. He's carrying it around. It looks like he's smoking a cigar or something. And then he just taunts Poppy with it. Okay, go ahead and trim. Well, let me make sure. I just went on autopilot. Autopilot. Da-da-da-da. Tack down, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. That's what I'm going to do right now. If you did scan and cut, you're just going to put it down, fuse it down. You're going to skip the tack down step. I could have just like gotten and trimmed, done everything this morning. But like I said, I could not. It was like my bed was so comfy. We have the most comfortable bed in the world. Like, it's hard to travel because no bed is as comfortable as this one. For probably, like, I want to say almost 15 years, we had a Tempur-Pedic. Yeah, I would never do that again. It was fine. But a pillow top is so much better. Did I get that close enough? Let's see what kind of stitch it is. I'm looking because I'm not super close over here, but if it's that, yeah, it's a satin stitch. So satin stitch, you don't have to be as perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. Next step. What does it want us to do? You're going to leave the white in, and you're going to do the placement stitch for the, looks like the top of the hat, and you're going to get your blue plaid fabric. So why don't I just get all my fabric, and we're going to spray all of it. So then they'll just be ready to grab and go. Hat, hat, hat. So we just did the very top. Let's see. I can see it right there. This is a big piece of fabric. All right, whatever. Lay it down. Don't complain. Don't complain. Oh, my slippers. It's got to be that too. And my socks. Do you want to see what Poppy did in my brand new socks? And you know socks aren't cheap. Remember when socks used to be like $1? Yeah, these were not. This is what she did to my sock. But I'm still wearing it because it was not cheap. I was like, Poppy! She's usually, okay, she literally opens my sock drawer and pulls my socks out. And then she runs around with them. And she's so cute. And like, she just holds them and nestles her face in them. And I feel so loved because she just wants to be near me. And anyways, yeah, I don't know what happened with these. Because she runs around with my socks all the time. And they're all fine. Not these. Okay, we're going to go ahead and trim these. This is just going to be a bunch of placement and trim, placement and trim. I don't care though. It's not in the, since it's in the ankle part or the upper part, I'm just going to keep wearing them. One pair of socks that she and Momo played tug of war with, but I didn't like those socks, so I just left them. And then I threw them away. But I remember when socks used to be like $1 a pair. They're actually still pretty cheap in Korea. Violet had really cute socks, and I think she said they were like $2 a pair. This was not close enough, even for a satin stitch. You guys be quiet. Okay. Next placement line. And you can tell placement lines because they're blue on your screen. Tack downs, I think it's blue and gold now. What's the next color? You want this fabric. That's next. She is a stinker. Patrick was so mad at her yesterday because the kids left yesterday. And I tell you, they were so awful before they left. I was like, okay, I'm going inside right now. Can't even take it because they started arguing. They started arguing. And then Patrick was like, just get in the car and go, is what he said to them. And then Violet ended up sending us a note later on apologizing. They were arguing over the ride and who was going to drive first. And they were probably both right. Kai was saying that he always drives the longer leg. And then Violet, what was she saying? I don't even know what she was saying. But they were just arguing. I was like, I can't even take it. I'm going inside. I will see you later. Bye. I love you. And I came inside the house. And then Violet said she apologized for bickering before they left. I was like, I can't even believe you guys are arguing about this because they like to stop in Elko, Nevada, which is 4 hours from our house. And then that means somebody drives to Elko, and then somebody drives to from Elko the rest of the way to Salt Lake City. And I was like, okay, then how about you stop in Carlin? And because they wanted to eat in Elko. Carlin has food. Stop in Carlin, and then you'll both drive half the way. It'll be 3.5 hours. No, that's not good enough. They didn't want to stop there. They want to stop in Elko. It was just ridiculous. Wait a minute. I have the wrong fabric. Oh, here it is. This is the one I need. Why do I have a honeycomb fabric? Blue honeycomb. They were just, I was like, I cannot believe you guys will not just compromise. Why do we have to stop in Elko? I was like, too bad they're not just like you and me, Patrick, because I can just say, this is what we're doing, and Patrick will do it. As long as it's not a big deal, he is so easygoing. I'm really lucky. I wouldn't have cared either. Good morning, Judica. Judica, how are those grandbabies this Christmas? Grandbaby. I remember our kids' first Christmas, and it was just like they're June babies. So, hang on 1 second. This is the game we play all day. Dogs in, dogs out. Dogs in, dogs out. Okay, no barking, or I'm gonna put your collars on. So they were 6 months for their first Christmas, and it was just a lot of like sucking on wrapping paper. Not much got done. And I got to dress them up really cutely. Is that even a word? Really cute in their first Christmas outfits and all of that stuff. You welcome, Lan. Is it Lanny? Or Laney? Lanny? All right. Next. Placement stitch. Yay! I know, you guys are like, I'm sure you get to the point where you go, I cannot wait for you, Jeannie. You are taking too long. Now we're going to lay this one down. Cute hat. Adorable. And then we'll just do all the satin stitching. Tack down. Your kids' birthdays and... How many kids do you have, Miss Betty? That's kind of fun. You can have just one big celebration, get it all done. 2 boys. Here we go. After this, I'm going to call my Kimberbell rep and see if I can get some stuff straightened out. Oh, well, Lita, maybe it's time to, get a new machine. And I'm not even stitching at like full speed because this hoop that I have on. But yeah, it can make a difference, right? All right. So we just went ahead and did all of the placement and trims. I just did this one. We are in step 14. We're going to stitch the hat. Part 1, satin outlines, satin, satin, satin. So we're just going to be loading in our thread and stitching. So first thing we're going to do is the satin outline on the face and then the top of the hat. Here we go. Just settle in. Oh, we're doing some fringe too, so you're going to need a water-soluble bobbin. So I like to use this is what I use, Vanish. And I buy the 2,000 yard roll, which I just use. I mean, I'll probably have this forever. Keep it in the bag, because if it ever gets wet, and I have a little spool of Vanish that Poppy got a hold of, and her saliva got on it, and then I just had to throw it away. So I just keep this in the bag. I put it on a little spool. I'm so excited, guys. I finally ordered a table for my heat press, and I'm going to put my scan and cut on it, and I'm just so excited. It's not going to be here until Friday, and the reviews were, it's great, but it takes 2 people 6 hours to put it together, so I'm not looking forward to that. I didn't tell Patrick that part. I'm just going to be like, excuse me, can you help me put this together? I didn't show him that part of the review. Okay, put it on a spool, and I write Vanish on it, and I write it on both sides. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to stitch something thinking this is just white thread, and then let's say you piece a whole quilt top with the white thread, and then it turns out to be your Vanish thread, and the whole thing falls apart. Because that is what will happen. So if you don't have Vanish, I would put in a color that you can see, and then you have to cut it in the back with a seam ripper. I hate doing that. It is so difficult. It's so hard to get it, even with a color you can see. I wouldn't even stitch it until I had some Vanish thread. Okay, go ahead and hit start again. This is going to be outline of the top of the hat. So right now we just did this step, and now we're doing this step. And then you need to get your blue ready. I'm pretty sure that blue is Marlin. Let me check our color code in the beginning. D. Marlin. Yep, get your Marlin. I have a spool that's almost done. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll get to finish it today. Finishing a spool of thread is such a reward for me. Because I feel like, oh, I did it. What do you need to work? Oh, work out with my rep. Oh, nothing. It was nothing. I was just, I wasn't, so for Digital Dealer, I put everybody in my club, and they automatically bill me probably about 5 days beforehand. And then it automatically goes into your accounts. For the people that I like, there's some people I put in manually. There's some people that bought after, that signed up after my auto. It's kind of like my auto bill or my auto pay. That goes in, and I have to buy your licenses, and then I can upload them. And I usually have extra licenses that I purchase, but I don't worry about it because I can go on and buy those. I wasn't able to do. I haven't been able to purchase licenses. The site's been shut down for that part, And so I've just been waiting, and I'm hoping that that's back up and running. So I haven't been able, there's some people waiting for those licenses to get added to their library, and I can't do it right now. Were you hoping the tea would be better than that, Curtis? It's very boring tea. Just waiting for that part to be fixed. And if it can't be fixed, then my rep will just help me deal with it, because she is so awesome. I have the most amazing rep at Kimberbell. Okay, now we're going to do the next part of the hat. So you're going to put in your marlin. Southwest West Mexico. That sounds pretty nice. Miss Mary. Fun in the sun. I know you want something juicy. If I had something juicy, guess what? Wouldn't be sharing it on here. Yeah, no. Just waiting for all the kinks to be ironed out. Okay, so we're doing marlin, then we're going to do amethyst. Spill the tea, guys. Spill the tea. Oh, yeah. Pom-pom sounds good. Yeah, you're totally right. A pom-pom would be so much better. However, I was looking at, because we were cutting more kits for, I think it was April's Cutie, and which was, several years back. But the tails on the bunny rabbits are so big and fluffy, and that was like what I'm gonna do right now. I was like, that looks so good. I don't think I have a. Do you have a big pom-pom? Oh my God, I'm gonna look in my stash. Okay, so before we owned the store, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I would go in and do arts and crafts with the kids, and this is left over from that. Look at me with all my pom-poms. I got blue ones. I could use this. Oh my goodness. Oh, these are my favorite. The ones that have like the little hairy things on them. Oh, maybe I'll use this. We're still going to do it. Maybe I just won't fluff it up. But I'll do it so that you guys that don't have a stash of ridiculous pom-poms. Yeah, look at that. Or I could just go... Oh my God, look how big and fluffy he is. This one. That's the one. All right. I'm going to copy you, Cindy. Such a copier. Copying is what do they say? It's a big compliment when somebody copies you. Okay, so next color, amethyst. Put in your amethyst. You're finishing up. Hard time matching the snowman pieces. Oh, okay. So I do a ton of tiling scenes. I basically do like everyone that comes out, and I'm talking about OESD. And I'd say I have like an 80% success rate when I'm matching up the seams, and then a 20% where I have to rip it out and do it over again. So my biggest advice to you is to start sewing like right here. And then open it up, see if it matches. Don't start at the very end and sew it and then undo it and sew it and undo it. Like you're gonna match up right here and sew it and open it up, and if it looks good, then you're gonna sew from one end to the other. I don't know if you did that, Susan, but that's what I do. Like right where it needs to match, that's where I sew it. Of course you're done, Miss Tina. Tina, get everything done. You have just been a machine. What is on your multi-needle, Tina? Oh, perfect. They're super easy. Super easy, Miss Lita. You just gotta have some dissolve away thread. Otherwise, they're not super easy. You're gonna be like, is that the thread I cut? And I used to, like, I thought you had to get it, like, saturated. I used to, like, get it all wet with a sponge and rub it all in. But, like, just spraying it totally works. That just spraying technique. Tina, nothing's on the 10 needle? Do you, I'm like a needle always nonstop on my 10 needle, and then sometimes I have nothing on it. So I'm gonna do those. The homestead. I'm gonna start those. See if I can get those on there. And they're not a lot of pieces, so I'm kind of excited about that. But they're the Little House on the Prairie village kind of thing. Because I saw them stitched out and I was like, those look so good. And maybe I can give them to some like little girl or a little boy and they can play with it. They can, like, we could watch the whole series and then we could have the Little House on the Prairie set and then we could stitch them out. I'm so excited for Home Sewn too. Curtis, that's like half the battle. Okay, what's the next what color we're doing? E. And I think E is Admiral, and this is going to be my first time using Admiral. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't have this blue. Let's use it. Getting it all prepped and ready. I say maybe, okay, a quarter of the battle is the prep. A quarter of the battle is the stitching out. And then half the battle's the borders and finishing. That's what I struggle with. The borders and the finishing. That's like probably more like 90% for me. Admiral Blue. Here we go. On the bottom of the hat. Let me call you Tweetheart. We still have kits if anyone wants those. I should show that off in the live feed. I don't know how many kits. I don't know if we're going to keep kitting it because it's such a pain in the behind getting all those embellishments for you guys. Yeah, Judica, I like struggle with the borders and the putting it all together. I just don't want to do it. I want to start something new and exciting. Okay, I thought about doing that with this, and then I realized I left my magnets at the store, and I think if you're going to do it, you really need the super, super, super strong ones. Because I thought about doing that too. The other reason because I was like, should I do it for this? The other reason I didn't is because I don't like having the batting exposed. And I was like, okay, so then I'll layer it with the batting, with the muslin. And I couldn't remember if I layered this pillow top when I was done. I don't think I did. I think when I do these pillows, I couldn't remember. Do we layer them? Did I put like more batting and another layer of muslin and then stitch in the ditch? Or did I just put on, I think I just put on the pillow back. So this one I'm opting to not use that method. Just make sure you have good magnets. I did, somebody was like, oh, you can get those same magnets on Amazon, but they weren't the same. They weren't as strong. They weren't as good. I think you really need to invest and get the Sew Tights or the hemline ones. I think those, they looked exactly the same though, and I think I want to do the bigger ones. And then there's ones that are heftier. So I haven't given up on the Becky method for doing the continuous hooping. I just had to noodle on it some more, and I needed to figure out how to cover over the batting. I think I need to have something on the batting. I don't like having just the batting exposed. Yeah, we've struggled with embellishments, Curtis. Betty, are you talking about mistletoe? Not having the border information there? It was fine. I got to put it off. This one, I thought about this morning. I was like, oh, maybe I'll start with the borders to get it out of the way. And then I was like, nope, not going to do it. Okay. Focus, Jeannie. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to put in our water-soluble bobbin, and we are going to do the fringe. Fringe is going to happen in the same color. So get your bobbin that says vanish on it. Although I've already lost mine. How could I do that? Oh, here it is. Okay, we're going to switch out. So take out your bobbin. The fringe has the vanish. And then we're going to put this back in because then there's going to be stitches that tack those stitches down so they don't all come out. I think it was a combination of my socks and my slippers that was making me so hot. I think I've started to regulate. Okay, Admiral. So go ahead and just stitch. The secret with this is going to be your water-soluble bobbin. Oh, you know what I never did is I never turned my speed back up either. So let me do that. It won't go fast on these stitches. Oh yeah, Let Me Call You Tweetheart is a pillow and it's like the cutest one. You did the embroidery and did you like the embroidery better than the buttons, Delta? I was doing the, you know what? I'm doing the buttons all the way just because it'll save me time. But that's interesting. That's perfect. Then you don't have to get the embellishment kits if you're liking the embroidery better than the buttons. Because I think that's like the biggest thing is in the embellishment kits are the special buttons. There might be like the panels, like home sewn. You've got to get the embellishment kits because those little panels are going to make all the difference. Let the land sharks back in. Oh, you took his treat. Come on. Come on inside. Momo. She took it. Poor Momo. No, you don't get another. Poppy took his treat. So for these are what we're stitching right now is a 24-inch pillow, as is Let Me Call You Tweetheart. And all of those you buy for the 22-inch pillows, you buy the design from Kimberbell. For the bench pillows, the big ones, you get the designs from us. Although they've discontinued some of them. Okay, we're going to switch our bobbin out. They've discontinued some of those, and now you can only buy those from Kimberbell as well. But when they first come out, the bench pillows, they make it so the dealers can sell the whole thing. Now you're going to put your regular bobbin in, and then it's going to stitch it down right on the inside so the fringe can come up. I don't know if that helps you organize your thoughts, because I used to get confused. I'm like, when do I use the regular thread? When do I use the water soluble? Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to see how it's sewing it down right on the inner part, and all of this part will come up. Oh, so that one was really cute. That spring one. Yes, you should send a note to them. Maybe they'll do that. Right? That would be great. That one was really cute. Okay, we're going to put our water soluble back in. And now, because this is going to be the fringe, it's what we're going to wash away. It's another inner layer. And then we'll put the regular bobbin to hold the fringe down. That kit is cute. It's really, really cute. And I don't know how many we'll be able to make just because it has petal pulls. And I bought a ton of the petal pulls. I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest embellishment in there. The group about it, Let It Snow, was coming last December. Are you talking about this pillow that they're making this? Did this come from something else? Is this like a compilation? I never know. I find out about everything from you guys. Oh yeah, the fringe is easy. Now this part's the fringe. It's the hairy part. Then we're going to put our regular bobbin back in, and it'll sew right in the inner part of that circle so it can hold down the long stitches. Coffee! I need coffee! Patrick goes, was your coffee good this morning? And it wasn't, because we ran out of oat milk. And so you had to put in rice milk, and rice milk's really thin. But I try not to say anything, because then he calls it my cup of narcissism. Because he makes it. But he's asking, right? I was like, it's okay. He's my barista. I want him to be able to make it really well and how I like it. So I need to tell him the truth. But when I tell him the truth, he calls it my cup of narcissism. And that just makes me laugh. Anyways, okay. I don't know why I took this out instead of my bobbin. But let's go ahead and, now that I did the fringe, we're going to take this out. See, when I talk about my narcissism, I go on autopilot. And it's funny because what I have is I actually have a coffee cup that a girlfriend got for me. And it says Cup of Gratitude. And then on the inside, okay, let me read my instructions before I hit the start button. But we are, yes, we're stitching the pom-pom. Wait, I did the inner, then this, change back to the bobbin, change to the neutral color, stitch the pom-pom fringe to tack down stitch. And it's going to do the inner part of it too, like the very center part. Oh, and put your thread back in that you pulled out because you were talking about your narcissism. All about me. And that very first part, I am going to go back because maybe that was like a very important stitch that was holding it down. So this goes to the next step. This goes to the beginning of the step that you're on. Or the previous step if you're at the 0 part of that. We are, I mean, we're not a purposeful dairy-free house. Like we have cheese and stuff, but we're not, hang on, I want to go fast too. I don't think I am at my fastest speed for this hoop. We do cheese. We just don't really do milk. And it's not, I don't have anything against it. Like if we're making a quiche or something, like we'll buy cream and all of that stuff. I could never give up dairy. No, thank you. I could give up milk, but not in the form of cheese. I love cheese. I love it. I love Gouda. I love Stinky. I love Blue. The only cheese I don't like is, I do not like goat cheese. Poppy! No, your feet are dirty. Get down. Get down. Down. Oh, God. Hang on. I'm battling a land shark right now. Okay. Okay. What's next? What's next? Oh, you're kissing me. How can you kick her off when she's giving you kisses? Okay, stitch this snowman cheeks. B is pink, and I'm looking at it thinking, oh, that looks like pink lemonade. But let me look at my key. I'm sorry. Poppy and I are having a love moment right now. Yes, I love you too. I love you. Pink lemonade. Pink lemonade. Where are you? Here you are. Oh my God, maybe we'll finish this one. Could you imagine finishing 2 spools in one sitting? All right, putting this in for the cheeks. Patrick was so mad at Poppy yesterday because she was trying to escape, and like none of that makes me mad. Like Poppy is just Poppy. Sometimes she tries to force her way through. She likes to go, she likes to get out of the yard and then fence fight. And she will fence fight any dog, including Momo. She likes to be on the opposite. You wouldn't even know they knew each other. She likes to just get on the opposite side of the fence and bark at him and run back and forth up and down the fence. It's ridiculous. Ew, look at this, guys. I'm going to have to pay attention. It's almost gone. Lita, so I could have answered your question so much easier and just said, no, you buy that design through Kimberbell. Yeah. Let me call you Tweetheart. Yeah, just get it through Kimberbell. You could easily use the background quilting from Sweetheart Street for Let Me Call You Tweetheart, but Let Me Call You Tweetheart's background quilting's really cute. And it has like the bird and the bird with like the little envelope, and of course it matches the designs perfectly. What it is about goat cheese, it is so gross to me, which makes me super sad because sometimes there is like really good stuff, like an endive salad with goat cheese on it, or a spinach salad with goat cheese, and I really, really, really want to eat it, and I just can't. Okay, here we go. It's the end. I'm just going to stop it here so it doesn't go through and start doing like there's no thread in the take-up lever kind of thing. And then stuff gets bound up. So I am done with that. I'm going to put in I have another thing of pink lemonade that I was anticipating needing someday. So let me put that in. You know, the only goat cheese I like is, I love feta. And feta's goat cheese, right? I'm pretty sure feta is goat cheese because I'm amazed at how much I love feta, but then I don't like other goat cheese. Oh my God, I can never. We had cheese and crackers last night We'll be like, you want cheese and crackers, Patrick? I love it. This is so cute. This stitch here is adorable. I love that it's not like a solid fill. Here you are, Miss Nancy. Welcome. Yeah, I've been trying to live feed on Mondays. So, and then I usually, this morning I was like, oh, maybe I'll get on it because I hadn't sent anything out. So I was like, well, I can kind of do whatever I want because I haven't really told them. But I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get on at 9 and I'll do the, I'll do scan and cut, or I'll do the borders. And then guess what? I couldn't get out of bed. I was like magnetized. It was so comfy it was so comfy I couldn't get out. Okay, next color we need is going to be G, which is, what is G? G is burnt orange. I love burnt orange. That is a good color. You know, one of the embellishments I missed that Kimberbell had was their velveteen. It is really, really, really hard to find velveteen, like good colors of velveteen. When I was in Korea, there is a booth in the market that has all different colors of velveteen, and I didn't have the orange, and it was like, I was so excited about it. When I got it back, it wasn't the right shade. But because I think it's pretty easy to find like the stretchy velveteen, but cotton velveteen is harder to find. And the colors I like. Well, Betty, I like you keeping me company too. You guys know I don't do these for you. I do them for me. It's the only way I can get through my projects is when I'm like, I'll be there for so long. And then I'm like, have to do what I said. And then I get my projects done. Otherwise, sometimes I just want to sit on the couch, or I get into a reel hole. And I'll tell myself, these are the games I play with myself. This is how ridiculous I am. Okay, we need color I, which I think is hickory for the eyes. I do this with like everything. Oh no, I is storm. And guess what? That's a new color for me too. Hopefully I brought it home. Storm. Okay, where are you? Storm might be in the pocket of, I might have to use hickory because I'm not seeing it. I think I brought it home, but maybe not. All right, I'm going to use hickory because I don't know where my storm is. I do this game, which is called, only 5 more or only 10 more. And I do it with potato chips. I do it with reels. I do it with shopping. Like, I'll be like, I should be working right now. Why are you internet shopping? And I'll go, okay, I'm only going to look at 5 more pages of whatever I'm looking at. Or I do it with potato chips. Okay, only 10 more chips. And then you put the bag away. Or like TV shows. You get 10 more minutes, Jeannie, and then you have to turn it off. Like I'm a child that cannot control. And then after I eat the 10 potato chips, or maybe the 10 pieces of cheese, Curtis, where I go only 10 more small pieces of cheese and cracker, I'll say 10 more. I'll go, okay, you can have 10 more, like cheesy puffs. I'm the worst with those. The cheese smiles, I go 10 more, and then you put it away. Then put the bag away. I have a problem. It's called self-control, and that I have none. Anyways, so the live feeds are so good for me because I will work harder for you than for me. Because I'll commit to you and I'll do it, but I won't commit to me. Isn't that awful? Cheetos. Yes, I like the cheese puff Cheetos. That is like my Achilles. Any chip. So Storm's a little bit lighter. I wish I had it, but I don't know. I thought I brought it home. Maybe it's in my bag or my pocket. Anyways, I wish I did have Storm just now. All right, let's go. You know what? We're going to rehoop, do the next one, and then I'll do the fringe at the very end. But the fringe is very easy. I don't love the crunchy ones. You know what I love is Trader Joe's has a truffle one. A truffle crunchy one. I love those. We're going to do the next hooping. It is going to be... Oh. Oh. All right. Let's talk about this. I was noodling on this too. So I love the truffle ones. They are yummy. And I think it's interesting that I like the truffle ones because I don't like mushrooms. But truffle's different. Truffle is like yummier than just mushrooms. Mushrooms make me feel like I'm eating dirt. That's another food I wish I loved. Like a portobello mushroom sandwich looks so good to me, but I just don't like mushrooms. And that's a lot of mushroom. All right. How did I make such a mess? What's going on here? This is for the borders. Okay, I was thinking about this because your pieces are 4.5. This is what we're going to be stitching. This. And it's too wide to go this way. We can do it this way. So when it loads in the middle, I can snug it over just to save. You can also do it in your 8x12, same way, nudging it over, but you're going to use more stabilizer. Or you can do it in your 9.5. If you have a 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop, but it's the same amount of stabilizer for that hoop. Let me grab mine. Let me show it to you. So I decided last night as I was making my spreadsheet, I just decided, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do it in this size hoop. I don't even know where my 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop is. But because the top of it is so big, there's like, so much plastic on the top and the bottom. You use the same amount of stabilizer. So I'm just going to use this. When I'm taking a design and I'm nudging it up like this, and then you rehoop and you snug it in, you rehoop. Then I run my stabilizer up and down vertically. If I'm taking my design and putting it in and moving it left and right, I like to run my stabilizer left to right. So I'm going to take this out. I'm not going to use this one because I have some bigger pieces that are pre-cut that are going to work for this. I can't see any of your comments right now, so I'll catch up as soon as I rehoop. Is he so cute? I guess I could do the fringe right now. Let me show you. Water. I'm just going to spray it. Spray it on the back. I like to use my precision tip tweezers if I can find them. Oh, that's not them. Those are my reverse. Oh, here. Okay. These are my Tulas. I also have a Femori pair. I need multiples because I lose them. And then you're just going to grab from the front and just kind of roll forward. And they should release. Be gentle. Maybe I didn't have enough around the edge. Momo! There, he's coming away. Don't be too forceful. I might need to spritz it a little more. And they should be like nice little loops of thread. There. There. Oh, is it because I'm trying to do both of them at the same time? That might be it. You have that inner circle. Maybe do that one first. Oh, yeah. There we go. I'm grabbing it down a little bit lower. You've got your inner, and then you have the outer row. The dogs are talking. Sorry. Be careful of what's underneath. And then just gently roll it forward. Okay, sorry. I gotta go shut that door. That's the door to my sewing room. They're all losing it. I can hear all the dogs in the neighborhood. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and do it all now, but here's my inner row. I think that'll be easier to get the inner circle because you have 2 rows of fringe. And then do the back row. And that's it, Miss Lita. It's super easy. But I do like using these tweezers, and I just like to kind of roll it forward. And just don't be too aggressive, and you just want to make sure it stays looped. Like it's this like looped fringe. Hang on. Hang on. And then you can always wet it a little bit more. Do you like how I'm like, I'm not going to do it now, and then I can't stop? I'm like, just a little bit more. Okay. And I'll just do a little bit more later, but I mean, it's so cute. It's going to be nice and cute and super fluffy. Just pull the fringe up so you can see what you're doing. Oh, and like I was going to say, if you have a fringe that like breaks, like one of these breaks, that's okay too. You're just going to go ahead and just give it a little haircut later. And just pull it forward like that so you can see where the fringe is. But just work going around. Take your finger, fold it down a little bit, and just pull these forward. And then pull it down, and you can see right where you need to get the fringe out. There's one left there. Okay? And I have one that broke. I'll just give him a little haircut. All right. Oh my God, it's going to be so cute. I know it's not totally cute right now because I haven't finished it, but I'm going to put that to the side. I'll work on that while we're stitching something else out. I need to find a bigger piece because from here to here, you're going to measure it, and it's going to be probably about 15 inches. And I know I have batting pieces, or I'm sorry, not batting, but muslin pieces in here that are 15 inches. That is definitely not. What's this? Is this 15? I have some weird pieces left over from doing the cuties and the I might have to cut a piece. I'm sorry. Is this? That's like too big. 15, 15, 15, 15. Look at all of these. I didn't even know I had those in there. Hang on 1 second. Let me just cut a piece really quickly. I was cutting this morning. How big is this? Ding. Forget it. I'm just going to use this. It's way bigger than 15, but I'm going to use it because it's only going to leave like 2 or 3 inches on the end. And what am I going to do with that? So let's start by just rolling up one side. This was my last piece. I like keep a bolt of muslin and I just cut off of that. And obviously I need to go through what I have over there because it seems like there's a lot of other pieces I could have used that were cut for my 7x12. I still haven't been able to look at your comments. I'm not ignoring you. And this I could use, yeah, and it's better I leave it big because then I can use it for, I can use it for everything. I can use it for my 9x14, my 9.5x14, my 10x10s, everything. We'll just keep everything nice and neat and tidy. And then we're going to hoop left to right. Okay. This gives me lots to hold on to. I like to do 2 and then the other ones on the other side. Put my hand over here, make it nice and taut, but not tight. And then I'll put top and bottom ones on. Oh, you know what I could do too? Oh God, you guys are going to hate me. But since the design's only going to go here to here, I can snug it up in the top left corner. Sorry, can't help myself. And then maybe I'll have enough on the bottom for a 4x4 hooping. And I might not. All right. I'm going to go put this in. Before I do that, though, I am going to load my design because this one's going to be smaller. And if I load, if I don't load it now, probably ask me to change to a different hoop. Or actually, it won't because I have the same size hoop in. Okay, we can load it now. I'm going from 7x12 to 7x12, so I can go ahead and put this in. Like if I was going to a 5x7, then it might be an issue. All right, let me check and see if you had any questions. Crunchy ones. Ah, did you see that just there? Watching for the company. Okay. Yeah, so I had somebody somebody come in with a side hustle bag and I was like, I love that. I want to do it all, Betty. That's the problem. It's time. I don't have time. But yeah, I got it because I was so inspired. You know when you see something, somebody's made it, and you're like, I want to make that too. And then, yeah, we don't have time. Winter 11 4x8. So let's load our quilting design first. I brought it in via design database transfer, so that's the pocket I'm going into. This looks like 4x8 to me. Yeah, 4.5 by 8.5. That's with the quilting. And let's go ahead and add. And I'm going to add It's going to be what? His tummy. That's the bottom. It's got to be this one. That one's next. So go ahead and set it, and it's centered. So we're not going to move it at all. Not here. We're not, we don't have to move this part of the design, the snowman part. I'm going to touch embroidery, and I'm going to take that design, and I'm going to move it up to the top left corner. Because then I save all of this. And yeah, I'm just doing that because then I might be able to have some on the bottom that I can use later on. So you don't have to do that. You could use it centered wherever you want it. That's just going to take it so that my design's up here and I have all of this that I can use, and I can do my next tubing up on the very top, and who knows, I can use the bottom for something else. That's me being frugal. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. I'm going to touch this button down here, which is where we go forward and backward steps. And I have hickory in there, which is totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And it is going to do the placement stitch for my batting. Let me tidy up here the tiniest bit. Let me grab my fabric. And we're going to give it a little shot of spray. Note to self, I have dropped pearl and burnt orange on the ground. So when I'm looking for it, I can find it. Wrong side, lumpier side. And then my background fabric right here. Whoop. God, did you see that? I sprayed outside the tent. I'm laying my batting down. That's the whole point of the tent, is to like contain the spray. But I was like, shh. I was spraying it totally outside of the tent. Oh, man. All right. So I already laid down my batting. I just put it right over the placement. And then I'm going to lay down my background too, and we're going to skip some steps. Make sure you have about 1 inch all the way around. You can kind of feel it. Let's go over here. We're going to skip the next step. So deep gold is going to be your tack down for the batting. We don't need that because we trimmed it to size. Sky blue is going to be a placement line, and deep gold is going to be the tack down. So I am going to go ahead and just leave in the hickory. Where's my spatula? This one's my favorite. It has like the biggest ends. This is what we use because we do not put our fingers in. Right? Because in 2026, there will be no injuries. That's like the most common one, I think. I gotta reclip this. Let me reclip this. Okay, we're gonna do our background quilting stitch now, and I was using that multicolored one because it was fun. Let me go ahead and put that in, and then I am also going to slow down my speed, and then I will remember to speed it up. I will try to remember. I'm sure you guys are watching being like, God, she's stitching so slowly right now. What is up? That was me stitching at 600 stitches per minute. And on like the Avenir and the Luminaire, as well as the Radiance and the Solaris, there's a lot of stuff that even though it's 1,050 stitches per minute, that's going to be way faster than like a Dream Machine and a Lisimo, any of those, because it does satin stitches faster. It does all sorts of stitches faster. We are threaded, and let's get stitching. So right now it's just going to do this little stitch here. And let's look at our instructions. I think we'll probably be skipping step 1 and 2 of the embroidery instructions, but maybe not. Here we go. We're doing the background, and then it says after quilting, go to embroidery. Oh, no, we are going to go with step 1. That's where the embroidery starts. There's no placement. So you might as well spray your Snowman fabric, that's the white on white. Give him a little shot of spray, or else cut him on your scan and cut. I'm doing traditional applique, which is placement, tack down, and trim. If you're doing scan and cut, you're doing placement, you're fusing, no trim, and no tack down. Oh, geez. Michelle is doing some really, really, really fun projects. She just came in with like a Miki Kim. It's like a little folder thingamajig with 2-inch squares. It was so ridiculously cute. I was like, can you please do that one? I will get my classes up. I'm telling you right now, which means I have to do it. So I'm going to be doing edge to edge. I'm gonna do the Minky Kim, the Design Center quilting, and then Vial Toadstools. I have a couple of classes. I have like 5 classes that I'll be putting up in the next couple of months. Sorry, I'm so slow. All right, you are gonna put in your white thread, and before I forget, I'm gonna turn it back up, regular speed. I gotta clear that. For me, 800. Did I not turn it down? Why does it say 800? Looks like I went in there but didn't even turn it down to 600. Autopilot, talking, have my cup of narcissism, all about me. Okay, here we go. Am I in there? Can't see. Okay, this is going to be the placement stitch in white. I'm sprayed and ready to go. I think these are going to be pretty quick and easy. Where's the end of it? It's hard to see the white right here. Okay. Tack down, and then we'll trim. Now I need to find my snippy snips on the floor. Then we're just going to do the satin outline, 2 buttons, stitch the trimming guide and tick marks. Oh, it looks like there's a trimming guide and tick mark to make it easier to sew those all together. Okay, go ahead and trim it up. It says satin stitch, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Guess what? All right, hang on. It's going to take me a second to rip these stitches out. I put my fabric in upside down, which means I sprayed my fabric the right side, which makes me unhappy. I was looking at it going, is that right? Okay, that's okay. I will get these out super quick. It was going too smoothly, huh? Sorry. Sorry. I was thinking, oh, it looks so ratty. But I just thought it was just white on white, and sorry about it. Hopefully I didn't spray this too much. You never want to spray the right side of your fabric, but I did here. Of course, the tack down is a placement stitch is one go around, but the tack downs is a double go around, so it's a little bit harder to get out. Can't be too aggressive. You can cut into your fabric. Yes, I am an expert seam remover. Just to show you how many mistakes I've made. All right, I'm going to pull some of this out really quickly, and we'll just redo that really. Perfect time for a bathroom break for you. And if you like what you're seeing, you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe. We appreciate it. I think it helps us in the algorithms. I'm not going to do a perfect job because I'm just going to be trimming it. Okay, doesn't feel too tacky. I'm going to give it another shot of spray. Even these threads on the back will show through, so let me grab a little bit of tape. If I use... Are you going to keep them in stock? Oh, yeah. I'm keeping the hollow shimmers in stock. And Tina, we sent you everything that we had in stock. I did see your order. And I have your mint green now. And I think I had the other colors. I don't want these to shadow through. I'm not worried about them being in the seam, but I just don't want them to shadow through. Okay. Here we go again. Yeah, I'm going to keep them in stock because, like I said, I'm like completely obsessed with them. Sorry. Sorry you have to watch me do it twice. I'm getting rid of the big, icky pieces. Okay, it is right side up now. One more time. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to make sure I'm seeing that gold, which I am, and here we go. One more time, and then we'll trim. You guys are so good at making me not feel bad when I make a mistake. That was just a demonstration of how fast. I have the pink now, Tina. I didn't have it, and now I have it. And if you want, I'll look at what you... I'll call you and tell you the other colors. So if you want to add anything. But I think Graydon put everything we had online, although I did order some more from a different place that had them in stock. Like, you know what I love? The lavender. So pretty. Okay, trim. Trim and satin stitch. Hello from Mississippi. Hi, Miss Bonnie. I've never been to Mississippi. Okay, so I've never done the southern states. I have been to Tennessee. I think I've been to Memphis, Florida, but I've never been to Alabama, Mississippi. I want to do those. I can't wait till I have more time, and then Patrick and I will travel. I was like, maybe we'll have an RV. Oh, you want the big spools? Oh, somebody else. I kept a big spool. So, Tina, I have a big spool of the mint and the pink. I saved the big one of the pink for you, but I wasn't sure if you still wanted that. So send me a note with, because I had somebody else that wanted to order big spools. And so I'm going to be doing an order. If there's any other colors that you want, just let me know. All right, go ahead and hit start. If anyone wants big spools, that is a special order. But I was going to order those, and just let me know which ones you want. And I saved you that pink. I think you have a gift card too. We can use your gift card. Okay, here we go. That only took me off track a little bit. We're okay. And then you're going to want F and C. I think that's going to be Persian and amethyst. Yes, so grab your Persian and amethyst. Let me see if I can clean up what I dropped on the ground. Uh-oh. Where's my Persian? I'm not seeing it. Oh, these are two colors that I just love. Are these like so beautiful? So this is their like lightest gold. I love it. And then this one is, I think this is their lavender. And I love that one too. It's more pink to me. So. Is this my Persian? No! Uh-oh. What am I going to do if I can't find it? Where could they be? I always say when in doubt, look on the floor, but I was just looking at the floor and it's not there. Okay, hang on. Do some searching. Oh, it was in my thing, but it was upside down. I put it in there to fit it. So you're right here. That's next. And amethyst. Those are going to be the buttons. Miss Tina, just send me a note for the colors that you want. So I'll save you the, if you want that big mint green, and I can cancel your little mint green, and then the pink. And then somebody else had ordered large ones, so I was going to do another order and order some more. So if there's any colors you want, just let me know. Pretty. This is only an 11-minute stitch out. This is pretty short. Although it's much longer when you put your applique fabric in upside down. Then you're doubling your time. Oh yeah, he was so sweet, Tina. I enjoyed talking with him. Okay, so we are gonna do the top button first. But it doesn't matter if you did. It calls for Persian first. Here we go. And I also put up, or I shouldn't say I put up, Graydon put up there's a whole bunch of Kimberbell product that's coming out. So this stands for the mini quilt. So if you want to pre-order anything, you can do that. But this stands for the mini quilt. And then there's also some specialty fabric that's coming out. So some of I think they're micro velvets and new colors of felt. And what else do they have coming out? It's all on the website. There's also a new design that's going to be coming out. I think there's 2 new ones. Here's your cup of love right there. Okay, change out your thread. You're going to put your amethyst. It's going to do the bottom button. Then we'll put the little trimming guide and tick marks. And then we'll be done with this one. I'm excited to do the little piece blocks. Those are always, I love piecing in the hoop the blocks when they have the quilting afterwards. The pinwheels, we have to do those in 2 parts. We have to like do the embroidery and then stitch them together. And then you'll add the quilting afterwards. So 3 parts really. Okay, here's the other button. And then we're going to put then it says color that you can see. So I think we could just go ahead and leave the purple in. So right now we did this button, we're doing this one, and then a color you can see for the trimming and tick marks. Actually, I don't think those will have anything to do with sewing it all together. But when we sew it together, you're going to focus on both of the satin stitches on the outside, making sure those match, and then you'll sew the whole thing. It'll just make it easier for you. Cheese and crackers and cheesy poofs. All that talk has made me hungry. Look how cool it is. Like, it's the same color thread, but they just changed the direction of the stitching, and it just gives it depth and dimension. And you can stitch a design in. I think that's so awesome. And they both have different designs. Okay, I'm going to leave that color in there. Isn't that, like, neat? That's, like, so neat. I'm just going to hit start. And this is going to help with the trimming. With the trimming of your block. And if that lavender is not dark enough for you to see, you could put in a different color. And then let's get ready to hoop up again. Now we're going to do the bottom part of the snowman. I'll just do it right here. Slide that off. Here's my little side table that I love so much because I can use it anywhere, everywhere, and anywhere. And I'm going to rehoop. I'm just going to slide it this way. Let me call. Oh, it's on sale this week. Lita, that's so perfect. Yeah. Get it. Is the background quilting on sale too? Okay, I'm going to make it. You have about 1/2 inch of no-sew over here. You've got about, I don't know, 1.5 inches left and right. I'll cut this. You found a table. Yes. So I bought a kitchen island. It's like, and it's like square. And it's so cool because it has like a table part that you can like pull out. I don't have it yet. So let me put it all together and then I will give you a little tour of it. But I'm so excited to have, like, I don't have a dedicated spot for my and I'm going to hoop this without any of the fabric showing, just because there's not much room here on the sides like you have on the top and the bottom. It's totally different. I'm going to hoop it. And I just got on Amazon. I was like, I don't need anything fancy. I was trying to steal something from the store, but you know, we have a bunch of product on it, so I was like, okay. All right, Jeannie. And this looked like it would suit my needs because the side table, you can pull it out or you can put it back in again. So it's extendable. And I thought about getting like a husky table or something like that, or like true like sewing furniture. But in the end, I was like, I think this is going to be enough for me. It was like $300, so the price was right. All right, let's load our next design. Yeah, I think it'll suit my purposes, and then I won't have to pull my heat press in and out, and I can put something else under there. Next design. The quilting design might be the same. So if it is the same, ooh, my spreadsheet's all the way across the other room. We're doing this one now. And the design is it the same? Yeah, background quilting says the same. So instead of having to go home and starting all over again, I'm just going to hit return. And right now the box is over the quilting design, so I don't want to throw that away. I want to hit my select buttons. It's still around that, isn't it? Okay, hang on. There we go. So I'm going to just touch that. Oh, because the design is the same size. I'm going to throw that in the trash can. I'm going to take this quilting design. I'm going to center it. So I'm just going to touch edit to center that design. Just go to your move keys. I'm in my main edit page. Hit the little button in the middle, and that's going to center it. Okay. I'm going to say okay. And now we can add. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to go where I bring my designs in via Design Database Transfer. How many of you are using Design Database Transfer? How many of you have not? And we want the very bottom of the snowman. So I'm going to touch that. And that just stays centered. So if you look here, center alignment. So you don't have to move that at all. And now we're done. Don't touch it here because it'll separate the two. Touch your word embroidery. And on this page, they're combined as one design. So I'm going to go layout to my move arrows or the word move. I'm going to put it all the way up in the left-hand corner just to maximize my use of that muslin. Because look how much I have left on the bottom. I can definitely do something with that because I will trim this. I'll cut it right there around that. And now I'm going to have all of this on the bottom. I could make like a little pillow or something. Tina! Oh my God, Tina, you got to do it. Watch that video I did with design database transfer. It's so easy. It was not fun. I'm telling you, Brenda, that's what it said. That's why it said everyone said they loved it, and they said putting it together was awful. Okay, so I'm gonna go here where I can go forward and backwards colors, and we're gonna start. I have lavender in and my amethyst. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that in there. So, Betty, what are you unable to do? Let me grab my fabric. My spray tent. And how about we try to spray the right side, which is the wrong side of the fabrics. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one first. That's the wrong side. Let's put this down. Okay, now we're going to spray the fabric. Whoop. And I'm going to spray the appropriate side of my applique fabric too. There's the dots. So we're going to spray the wrong side, and I'll leave it in here for right now. And let's lay down our other fabric. Just want to make sure. All right, let's skip some steps. This next step is tack down for the batting. We don't need it because we cut it to size. Background placement, we've already placed. And that is going to be our tack down. We want that one. Color that you can see, I can see the lavender on that, so this is going to be fine. Get your little spatula. Okay, so when your screen, even when it recognizes, it won't let me select anything. Even when it recognizes my machine, it won't let you select a design to transfer. Yeah, it's then it's, I don't know what to tell you. I think it's you need to make sure it's organized right. And then you need to make sure you're not in a zipped folder. We were talking about that in the on Friday. So it can't be in a zipped folder because you can't select anything from a zipped folder. Even if you open up the zip folder on the left-hand side, it's still zipped and it's not going to allow you to select anything. So start with something super easy, Betty. Like just put a design, a PES design on your laptop, on the desktop, and select from there. I would start with something like that. Most likely, maybe you're trying to select from something that's zipped and it's not going to let you select it. Okay, we want to do the quilting, so let me put in my thread. I would start with putting a PES file on your desktop and see if you can get that. And it's got to be just the PES. You come and visit us sometime. Bring your laptop next time you come, and I'll do it with you. not zipped. I don't know how you have, it really depends on how you have things organized on your computer. So there's no one way of doing it. I'd have to see that first. Guess what? Not even slowing it down. I'm just going to leave it at my 100 stitches per minute. See what we get. Might break. We'll just rethread. And then we're going to put in our white thread, and we're just going to do the placement line for the bottom of the snowman, the tack down, the trim, the satin stitch, and then one button. This one doesn't even have like a tick tack mark for trimming. This is not the silver. I'm using this one, which is kind of like all different colors all in one. So it looks like this when you're done. I would call it like a variegated. I'm using this one in my my mistletoe too, and it's so beautiful. So I'm using, this is the silver, and I'm using the silver in my in my Kimberbell version. And then I'm using this, the one I just used. I'm using this one in the version that I'm doing the Love and, is it called Love and Share? And it's just so much fun, isn't it? It reminds me of like tinsel. So that's the difference. It's so funny because they both look kind of silvery, but when you stitch them out, they look very different. Okay. I think it's color 6046 or something like that. Alrighty. We're going to skip the next steps because it looks like, and what does it say in our instructions? Center alignment. After quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. Stitch the trimming guide. Oh, I think it wants that. You want that. So put your white in. Don't skip it. It's not a placement. It's trimming guides. So you want the trimming guide. Lita, I might forget. So do you have a current order that you're waiting for me to ship? I think Graydon put it on. It'd be easier for me if you just ordered it, and we'll refund your shipping. I mean, it's so little. I'll just pop it in with your other order. Let me look on our website and see if it's up yet. I've had that for so long, and I was like not jazzed on it. I was like, I don't really like it. And then I used it, and I was like, oh my God, I love it so much. Sometimes it's just so different when you stitch it out. And, you know, for the right project too. I think it's color 6048. It's the multi. I think it's called multi. And I think Graydon put it on there, but I'm not positive. Email me if she didn't, and we'll get it up. I might not have gotten it in. I ordered like, I don't know, like just 10 spools of it. Okay, after you do this, now you're going to do the placement line. Just go ahead and hit start. You're leaving the white in. Mine's already sprayed and ready to go. What's happening is when people are sending me emails to add stuff, I forget sometimes. Like, or, you know, Lindsay does the orders too. So she might not know, we might have not communicated, but when you do your online orders, we do a search for you before we send out your orders and we look at all of them. And then we'll just go ahead and combine and refund. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this down next. And just confirm, mine's right side up. Tack down. And then we're going to trim. I know. Well, it's just I miss stuff sometimes, and then that's stressful. But when you do your orders online, we still miss stuff every once in a while, but we really do check. We look through all your orders. I know, I'm trying to make it so there's not as much in the brain. Oh, is this just so cute? I've seen people's finished pillows because I follow on Facebook. I'm in some of the Kimberbell groups. So I've been eager to get this one done. Maybe I can finish it tonight. Yeah, weird angle here. Here we go. It's a satin stitch, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh my God, when my kids were bickering yesterday, I was so ready for them to be gone. But now that they're gone, I miss them so much and I want them back. And Patrick, who is always so sweet and understanding, was like, they're just both really stressed. Like, I think Kai's definitely stressed about being back at school. And Violet leaves on Saturday for DC. So I think she's excited but nervous. Oh, Autumn Acres looks adorable, Tina. Are we talking about the Autumn Acres pillow? Looks so cute. I can't wait to do that one. And I can't wait to do Home Sewn. I'm just like chomping at the bit to start that one. Okay, after we do this, we've got one button, and it's D, which is Marlin. I know Patrick is the no man, and I'm the yes girl. And it's necessary when you're a yes girl to have a no man that looks out for you. Because I want to do it all. I love taking care of, so I want to like take care of all of you. But then it turns into, oh my God, me being overwhelmed. So I need a no man. He's a boundaries kind of guy. I'm a no boundaries kind of girl. I'm like, why has it been so peaceful in here? I'd shut the dogs out because they were barking. Okay, after we do this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do what they call the snowballs. And this is going to be piecing in the hoop where we're going to load it. We're going to do the placement for the batting. And then we're going to skip ahead. Placement for the batting, and should we do the background? We're going to do the placement for the batting, the background, and then we're going to piece on, we're going to do the template on top. Quilting's going to go at the very end. Oh, is that color not up there? Okay, Lita, did you already do your order for the Tweetheart? Because I'll just put it on there. I'll write it on your slip. So send me an email. Because maybe I haven't gotten that color in, and so we didn't put it up yet. But it's been ordered. It just might not have arrived yet. Send me, you know what, Lita? Send a note to me and to Graydon. So you're going to email Graydon too, and her email is Grey, like the color gray, Graydon, DON, Graydon A1sew@gmail.com. Just like mine. I'm Jeannie A1sew@gmail.com. She's Graydon A1sew@gmail.com. Michelle's Michelle A1sew@gmail.com. So email both of us, because she doesn't get as many emails as me, so she'll be more inclined to check it, see it, and we'll add it. Okay, get your marlin. If I didn't get it yet, I'm getting it this week or next week. I ordered all those colors. I think this is going to be just enough. Yes, so I got my nails done. It was a gift. Thank you so much. You know who you are. And my nails looked so good for so long, but now I have to go and get them done again. I loved it. I love the me time. Violet and I did it together. And more than anything, I liked not being embarrassed to do my videos and show you my icky nails. Okay, I'm going to get my fabric. Get your fabric for the next ones. These are 2x2s. I think we're doing 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to have snowflake fabric, and then these for the corners. You also need your batting. And I'm going to hoop up and down. I'm going to go back to hooping up and down. How big are these when we put them in? 2.5 by 2.5. 2.5 by 2.5. Let's see how they fit in the hoop. Because we do have some filler blocks to do too. All right, you guys ready? Whoop. Darn it. Still have more. Okay. We still have more. Let me go ahead. I'm going to transfer over here. Oh, yeah. I did this mess in like 2.1 seconds. Yay, another empty one. That always feels so good. I'm going to rehoop in my 7x12. Did I finish? Yes, it's finished. I don't want to take it out if it's not done. Every 3 weeks. Okay, that's what I have to do then. Every 3 weeks. And I was like, should I do just a regular manicure or should I do gels? And I did the gels, and I'm so glad I did, because I just, every time I use my hands, I'm like, I'm so rough on them. So and Michelle does hers, and they're always so pretty. And she does like super fun stuff. I couldn't decide. I was like, should I do that? And then in the end, I did like this, which is like just enough for me. It's really like, because I can't decide, and I don't like stuff that's too flashy. But then I thought maybe I should do something more fun. Like Michelle always has super fun nails. I might get wild and crazy next time. That's right. All right. Okay. So this one, you can have a little bit of fabric sticking out. I like about 1/4 inch, because you have all this no-sew at the very top. Probably like an inch, inch and a half. What I have to be careful of is sometimes this will fold under, and then it'll fold all the way under, and then it gets stitched down. And I'm like, where's my embroidery? I don't see it. You could have even more. Like, I've been noticing it's like there's so much. Let's do like 1/2 inch. Oh, that's not 1/2 inch, but I'm not going to do it again. And sometimes I like feeling fancy. The last time when we went, I can't remember where Patrick and I went. I couldn't even find like my lip liner, or I don't do much makeup. Lip liner and eyeliner is it. And I couldn't even find, like, my eyeliner was like all dried up and icky. And then I couldn't even find a lip liner that I liked. And I got so stressed just being in, I went to Sephora, and I was so stressed just being in there. It was like, I don't even know what to look for. And I was like, good thing I don't buy makeup. I bought like 3 things, and it was like $80. What did I get? Oh, I got some like eyeliner, like an eyeshadow pencil, which I thought was super fun too. But I was like, good thing I'm not like a makeup person. Like, makeup's so expensive. Here we go. Let's go ahead and slide this back on. Michelle's so nice. She covers the screen when she moves the camera around. I just do it. You guys are fine. Oh, jeez. For a second, I looked at my bobbin, and I thought, did I change it back to the regular bobbin? Okay. So we're going to go say okay here. And let's go to home to clear our screen. Every 3 weeks. Then I'm going to just do it. I'm going to make a standing appointment every 3 weeks. Okay, embroidery. You get older, and you deserve to pamper yourself, right? That's how I feel about it. Plus, it's a gift to you that you don't have to look at those scary fingernails. You're not like, ooh, look how scary that is. All right. We're doing this one, I think. Because you can look here at the picture, and I have it in the spreadsheet. Let's load it. As long as it says 2.5 by 2.5, that is indeed it. We're going to set it. And let's go ahead and add. And I'm going to go ahead and we need to add the embroidery design, which is this one right here. And set. And I'm thinking about how I should do this. If I should... Let me go ahead and go... I think when you combine, I'm going to make it one. It doesn't let you... Oh, yeah, we can copy. So let's go add, and I'm going to move it first. Okay, let me go back because I wasn't sure that was going to work. I couldn't remember if it did that or not. I combined these two. I'm in the main edit page, and I'm going to undo. I can just hit undo down here. That's my undo button. And it's still combined. You can undo here too. So that separates it. This combines it. When it's all pink, it makes it combine. Not all machines have this feature. You'll have this on the Luminaire, the Solaris, the Avenir, and the Radiance. So that's combined. So I'm going to see how it's one. Doesn't break apart in the edit screen. I usually have you just go to the layout screen so it'll combine. Now it will let me make a copy. And we need 4 of these. And I'm going to leave a little room in between because the fabric, I don't want the fabric to overlap. And you can move with your arrows. I always say use your finger for general placement. Use your arrows for precision. Make a copy. Okay, there's my 4. And we could also do our filler blocks as well right now if we want. Because you're going to have... Where's my book? My book. My book. My Let It Snow book. Oh, I bet I dropped it on the floor. Let it snow. Oh, nope. But guess what? I found thread under here. My white. Hang on. Oh, my book's right here on the bed of my machine. Silly me. Okay. Let's just load it all in there because we have the room. Might as well. So we're also going to be doing 2 filler blocks. Or is it 4? And this is on this spreadsheet. It'll actually tell me what page. So we're doing these filler blocks right here. The little mittens. And why don't we just load those as well? And the mittens are going to be on... How many of those are we doing? Filler blocks. I'm going to look at the picture. That's a filler, that, and that. So we have 2 here and then 2 up here. Are the lavender ones, are they all filler blocks? Optional. I think this is on all of them. Yes? Does that sound right? Okay. So let's go ahead. We might as well just put 2 in here and then we'll do the other 2. I don't think I can fit everything on one. Maybe we could. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to say okay here. I'm going to add. We're going to add the mittens. So pocket. I mean, it's 12 inches. I think we could do all of them. Filler block mitten. Edit. I don't want to move this stuff below it, so I'm just going to hit my move arrow. I wonder if we just do all of these. Ah, he's separated. Undo. That one's separated. Let's see. Let's see if I can. I'm going to undo the mitten. I'm going to see if this moves as 1 or if it separates. Okay, it's moving as 1. he's separating. Let me go ahead and I'm going to take that and put it in the trash can. I'm going to see if this one will move. Ah, he's separating. Let me go back to undo. And if I hit, if I make it, whatchamacallit, if I make that design group, it's going to group all of this. And I don't want to do that. So, but I do want to see if this is, I'm just going to move it. Let me just move this and see if I can move the other ones and if it's going to work. So if I do the snowflake, and I'll fix that in just a minute. I want to see if I can fit all of it all on one page. What I don't want to do is I don't want to squish everything and make it difficult. You know what I mean? So I can just move it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead. Let's undo a bit. Undo, undo, undo. Whoop. Hey, can I call you back? Okay. Have fun. Bye. That was Mr. Patrick Mulligan letting me know that he is going from one ski resort to the other. Okay, we're going to put these in. I'm going to load them. I'll do a different hooping for the rest. So I'm going to go edit, move. Let's get them down and out. No need to, I mean, you have all this room. There's no need to squish everything and make it difficult. Make a copy. I'm going to go move and let's move them over. This all looks right, right? Okay, there we go. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do all of those piece blocks and 2 of the filler blocks. I'll have to do one more hooping and put those filler blocks, and I can just snug my fabric. I can use the same hoop and just move it up. And that is how I'm going to do it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And we're going to go embroidery. I just touched embroidery. And you're going to see a lot of steps here. And, you know, I'm just going to leave it like that just to keep it easy so we don't get confused. I'll just leave it. And we'll just do each one at a time, and it's not a big deal. If I can't color group anyways, because when designs are layered on top of each other, that looks as they can't be touching. Designs can't be they can't be even a corner or 1 pixel can't be touching, so I'd have to do them separately anyways. So that's it. Let's go ahead. First thing that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and let me turn to the right page. Placement stitch. So I'm going to do the placement stitch for this, and then I'm going to do let's do the, I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to do this. That's going to be for the batting. Trying to think if I need the background. Let's do the background for this one. So we don't need to do the batting tack down, but I'm going to go down here to this button. I'm going to fast forward. I'm not going to do the, hang on. Deep gold. Got it. Okay, step 0. So we should have, this should have been this step. We're going to skip this one, the background, the batting tack down, and we're going to do this one, the background placement. That'll just give us point of reference. And then we are not going to do the background tack down because we don't have any background down. But I am going to spray. My batting. Gonna spray the wrong side. going to put that down, and then we're going to skip ahead because we're going to do the quilting at the very end after we do all the piecing in the hoop. So I did step 1 and 3, right? Yes. We're going to skip this step. We're going to skip that step. We're going to do that at the very end. And we're going to go here. This is going to be the template stitching. You got to be careful that the foot doesn't drag around this piece of batting. So, but go ahead and do this. This is stitch the piecing template, and then we're going to get started. And if you want, you could even raise that foot the tiniest bit. I think we're going to be okay. Oh, sorry. No, that was right. That was part of the template. No fingers. You know what? That is actually a really dark color to be doing this underneath the white fabric. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that, and I'm going to be doing a lighter color. You don't have to do, yeah, but I would stick to something definitely a little bit lighter. So I'm going to just go ahead and put in my amethyst. You could even put in like pearl, or I mean, maybe you won't see any of that, but I'm just going to put in a lighter color. Okay, let me finish that up. Have your little spatula so you can make sure it's not going to be pushing anything around. Okay, now you're going to place the piece 1 fabric right side up. That's going to be one of your snowflake fabrics. You're going to put it right side up. And make sure you cover the whole thing. So I think it's kind of important to do the background placement too, so you can make sure you're covering everything. Okay, stitch the trimming placement line, and it wants you to do that in white. So maybe for the other one, we'll just do white for the whole thing, because you could see the white on top of the batting. Like, you'll see where it's stitched. Okay, I'm looking at it going, why are we even doing that template, the piecing template, if we're putting this whole piece of white down? I think I'm just going to do the background placement, the batting placement, the background placement. Because we can't even see the template under here. Is that, for those of you that have done it, don't you think? Did the piecing template on the batting, and now we put piece 1 fabric right side up, covering over section 1. All right, let's just keep stitching, and then we'll decide on the next one. Trim the fabric close to the stitch line, and we're going to just trim that top upper corner off. Yeah, I don't know if we need that. Don't cut your batting by accident. Here we go. Now we're going to put the wrong side of the fabric down. I'm going to go ahead and give these a shot of spray to the back side, never the right side. And that way I don't have to spray in the hoop. Let's just spray 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to center it. This was your trim line, but it's also your placement line. So go ahead and take your piece of fabric, center it to that, equal amount left and right. You can see it's going to start stitching here, and it's going to stitch your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Is that a 1/4 inch? Hold it down. Not with your finger, but with something, because if you spray it, it's going to want to stick to the back of the, it's going to want to stick to the foot. You do not want your finger under there. That little screw right there has ripped me up. This little black screw. So now you can just fold it back. Oops. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that template on the next one. Okay, now we're going to do the next. This is going to be, and I think this, like a stiletto, a spatula, something's going to be really important for you to be using other than your finger. And now we're just going to repeat the process. We're going to trim away, trim that upper corner away. That's your trim line. Don't cut the batting underneath. It's nice to have it stitched down. Now that trim line is your placement line. Put your fabric on there. Mine is sprayed, so he's sticky. Hold it down here for it to stitch, and hold it down on the left side too. Hold it on both. So for those of you that finished this, like Cindy or Tina, did you do that template for the whole thing? Seems silly to me. Because you're not even seeing it under there. You're barely seeing it. I could see it maybe holding down the batting a little bit. Okay, we're going to trim. Don't cut the batting. That's your placement line now. It's your trim line first, and then it becomes your placement line. Equal amount of fabric on either side. You can see where it's going to start stitching. You want to hold it down there, and you want to hold it down on the other side too. And watch out for that guy. That little black screw. Okay, I sprayed it already before we started. Gonna give it a little finger press. And the last one. This is your trim line first. Then it's gonna be our placement line. Okay, it's trim line first. Now it's placement line. This is already sprayed, so it's sticky on one side. I'm going to hold it down here. And you also want to hold it down both ends. If you sprayed. Even if you didn't spray, both ends. Otherwise, that fabric is going to move left and right all over the place. Okay, last step. So I just did the last one right here. Just flip and fold. Now it's going to do an outline stitch around the whole thing, and then we're going to go back and add the quilting, okay? So I don't know which way he's going. And what color should we do for our quilting? Should we just do the, I'm going to do the mint green. Because he's so beautiful. Mint green or silver? I'm going to do this one because it goes with the pillow. I'm going to take out my white thread. Let's put in my mint green. I'm putting him on my vertical spool stand. Up and over. Oop. Don't forget to use this. If you're using your vertical, you should be using this little tabby tab right there. The only issue I see with not doing the template for the other one, oh, what is that? I didn't even look. It's showing me something on the screen. So I just did stitch the final, tack down. Do not stitch this step. This stitch is for alignment. That's what it's showing me. I don't want to do that. So right here, if you're seeing that like I am, you don't want to do that. But you do want to go back here to the quilting stitch, which is going to be the green. I'm just going to touch. It's not taking me. There we go. And it's showing it. But I could have touched somewhere in the middle of the green. I don't know. So I'm going to go back to the very beginning. There you go. So now I'm in the very beginning of it. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're touching, you don't know where you've touched on that progress bar. Could be in the very middle, which mine was. Okay, then we're going to just repeat the next step. We're going to do it over again. I'm going to try to skip that template stitch. The only value I see in that is it did stitch down my my batting. It's such a small amount of stitching, I just left it full speed. And that square is what we're going to fussy cut to, but I am going to cut some of the blue on the end right here. And repeat. Here we go. Don't cut right to that stitch because sometimes you need a little bit of it. And let's do the next one. Or you could just tape it back. All right. Now we're going to skip all of this because we did this. We went back to the middle. We went all the way out here and then we went back to get that quilting stitch because we're piecing in the hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward. Tack down, trim, tack down. Okay. Where that was the outline stitch, we want blue. There we go. So there's blue. This is going to be placement stitch for the batting. Whoop. Guess what? I left my my Hala shimmer in. I'm going to take that out. And you're not going to see it well, but I'm just going to put in the blue, the white thread. Because that's what we're going to do with all our tack down and trims. And I don't know if the marlin, the color behind, would have mattered at all. Probably doesn't. But I'm just going to put in my white. Here we go. And we have to do our pinwheels. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little shot of spray. As well as this. As well as 4 of my navy pieces. Okay, I'm going to skip. I'm not going to do the tack down for the batting, but I am going to do the background. And let's go ahead and spray. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I'm going to put this down in the first square. I know it's white, so you might not see it that well. And what if we skip that template stitch? The only part I might want is where it is doing the batting part. We can fast forward to that. So I'm going to say, because it might be nice for that to be held down. So this is the tack down for your background. We're going to skip it. We're going to skip that. That's going to be the very last thing we do. Here's our template. But the only thing I want from the template is going to be the inner part. I don't want the whole outer part. So you can see it right here. And if that's confusing, hopefully it won't be confusing. I'm on the outside of the square. I want to do the inside. So I'm just going to hit, let's go plus 100. Now I'm on the inside. Did you see how it jumped to the inside? But I don't know where on the inside I am. So now I'm hitting the minus 10s. Okay, I'm on the outside. So I'm going to hit plus 1s. All right, so there. I'm on the very inside of the batting. Because I could see it holding that down, but you don't need all that other stuff. If you find that too confusing, well then just go ahead and do the whole thing or skip it. Maybe the next one we should just skip it and see what we get. It's sewing my batting down. And that's all you need. You don't need the little squares. I just wanted to sew my batting down on the edges. I cut my batting a little bit bigger. So I'm done with the whole template thing. I don't want to do any more of it. I'm going right here. Okay. Was that confusing? This is like what I would be doing if it was just me. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to make sure it covers the whole placement line on the outside. So I think that placement line is important. And now we're going to do the tack down. This is just the corner. Tack down and trim. This is your trim line, and then it's your placement line. We're going to do the next one where we don't do any of the template. Because really all I'm worried about is cutting off that very corner of my batting. So this will be us the second way we're going to do it. I'm going to lay this down centered to this stitch. That is my, what you don't want to do is you don't want to put it too far to the left or too far to the right or too far to the left. You want it to be centered. This is going to stitch your 1/4 inch. Hold it down, stitch. Once it stitches down here, I can let go, but you do want to hold this other end. And I sprayed mine so it's sticky. That's why you have to hold it, otherwise it's going to stick to the bottom of the embroidery foot. We're going to fold it over, finger press, stick it down. Okay, now it's going to do your next trim line. Okay, that trim line is going to become your placement line. So I'm going to take this, trim it, but now it becomes your placement line for your next piece. Fabric side up. It's a flip and fold. Hold it here for it to stitch it down and hold it on the other end. Once it's stitched down on this end, you can let go and just hold it on the other end. But hold it on both ends. Finger fold. Mine's sprayed, so I can just push it back. You could press it if you're not spraying. You need something that's going to hold it down, or you could do it with tape as well. Okay, this is your trim line. I'm going to trim it. Don't cut the batting. The little corner of the batting right there, don't cut him. Now it's your placement line. Fabric goes wrong side, right side down. Start stitching it. Once it's stitched down on this side where it starts. Oh, watch your finger because that guy. See how mine is a little askew? I don't know if you can see it. That's what's going to happen if you don't hold it down on that end, but I just know that that black screw is going to try and get me. So, but there's plenty of fabric, so don't worry about it. If it moves a little bit, you should be okay. Okay, trim line. It seems strange that they cut down. I guess you could leave it, like you could leave it there, but then it's just a little bit more bulk. And you don't need the bulk. Okay, right side down, that is now your placement line. I guess this one's the trickiest one because that's the one where the little black screw can get you the best. Okay, finger fold. For me, that means fingernail fold. Now we're going to do the outline stitch that goes all the way around. And mine is sprayed down pretty well, so I don't really have to worry about it. But you just want to make sure this fabric doesn't start flopping around. And now we're going to do the quilting stitch. So when I take my thread out, I don't pull it back. I reverse thread it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to unthread it under here, unthread it over here. And as long as your foot is up, this means foot's down. If that little trap door is closed, that means your foot down and your tension's closed. So make sure the foot is up and that is open, and then it just falls right out right here. But you don't want to pull it back. I just, like I said, I reverse thread it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to flip this around so my little heart is on the right hand side. I can get this up and over my thread stand, and you want to make sure you get it in there. Oh, I hear my baby at the door. Okay. You're never going to stitch this one out. You don't need that, but I do want to stitch out the quilting stitch. So I'm not on there. I'm going to just go until, there we go. And that's the very beginning. I'm going to go open up the door for my princess. And then we're going to do the next one. I'm not going to do the template at all. I'm not going to stitch down the background. We're going to see how it turns out. Oh, you still, oh, you got my slippers? Naughty. Okay, I'm going to save these and I'm going to piece them together. Just kidding. I'm sure you were like, oh my God, I can't even believe that she's going to do that. They were a little bit bigger, maybe I would. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm going to trim this up a little bit so it's not in the way. We're going to do the next ones. Don't cut right to that line. Leave at least 1/4 of an inch. I just popped a pretzel in my mouth. Next, we're going to go to the next one. So it's right after the black. So here's the black. No, none of that. This is what we want. Okay, we're ready. This time I am going to do batting placement, background placement, And then we are going to lay down our fabric. I'm going to skip any of that template stuff. Hi, guys. I'm winding up my quilting thread. Oh, got to rethread. Just putting white in. I know it's a little harder for you to see, but then I don't have to change my thread when we go to do the piecing. I'm sure they miss brother. Okay, here's batting. I'm going to put down one of my pieces of batting. Do you like how pretty that's cut? Yeah, that's good enough. Nobody's going to know. Just you and me. You're going to be like, you know, one of those pieces of batting under there is cut really ugly. Mm-hmm. Okay, this will be my last one. These I like sprayed really well so they stay down when I flip and fold. Sometimes I just give it a little... I've been spraying more lately. I used to just be like... And now I'm like... Whatever makes your heart happy. Okay, I'm going to skip the batting tack down. I am going to do the background placement. Let's do that. I love piecing in the hoop too. Oh, Miss Rita. Well, it's good to see you. Are you at work? Okay, don't look at my really ugly. Hi, Momo. And I'm going to put this one down. And like I said, this time I'm going to skip a whole bunch of stuff. Uh-oh, Land Shark is demanding to go outside. Hang on just a second. So for this one, we're going to try this by, we're not doing that. That's the background tack down. Oh, should we do, no, we can't do that because we want to trim those corners. You can't do it if you do that. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip the template. We're going straight to that. Straight to that. And the only thing you're going to have to be careful about is you have to be careful not to trim the corner of your batting. Because now I didn't even stitch it down. You want to go out? Okay, don't be a menace. Where's your sister? Happy? Oh. Neighborhood menace. All right, this time we're going to trim, but we're going to be super careful not to get the corner of the batting because that is the thing you have to watch out for right there. I know it's hard to see. And what happens if you got the corner of your batting? Ah, who cares? It'd be fine. I know it's hard for you to see, but there's my corner of my batting. I didn't cut him. Okay, now that placement line or that trim line is a placement line. I just let those darn dogs out. And who knows what they're barking at. And I have to go back and get them. Okay, let's stitch it down. Once it's stitched down on the first side, you can just hold it down on the other side. Good thing I like my job too, huh? There we go. Yeah. Why do the template? I'd skip the template altogether. You just have to be careful not to trim off the corner. Okay, it just took me 3 to figure out this is the way I like it most. But it's good to know we tried all the different ways. Okay, here's my batting. Just don't want to cut that. Okay. Now it's your placement line. Fabric right side up. Hold it where it's going to start to stitch. Watch out for that black screw. Okay, this bottom right corner one is the most dangerous one, because that's the one where the screw is coming right for you. And then we'll stitch out the pinwheels. I don't know if I'll do them. I'll do everything right now. What time is it? What time at 1? Oh, we got some time. Okay, now that trim line is now your placement line. Slide it on. See how he's headed straight for me? Ooh, that was really bad. Look how crooked that is. I don't know if you can tell. That's okay. As long as you go to fold it and that's outside, but I'm scared of him. I have we had an encounter once and he got me good. Trim line. Okay, I gotta go get them. They're just menacing out there. Okay, don't cut off the batting. Oops. I had to pull back that corner. He was stuck up, so I just went like that. And now I'm going to look from this side so I can make sure I'm not trimming him. Whoop. You didn't even see that. Sorry. I'm going to put this down and sticking to me. Okay, we're going to do the full tack down. Finger press. The square tack down. And then we will do the quilting stitch. One left to go. I thought that was fine. That was totally fine. We didn't need that silly template. Okay, let me change out my thread. Change it out, change it out. What if you can't press in your progress bar? What if you don't have a progress bar? We're just going to arrow back then. I'll do that with this one. Okay, if you have no progress bar, we're just going to go backwards. So this goes to the next step, that goes to, or you could go forward to that one right there, but then you'd have to go back. So I'm just going to go back, back, and then you have all these tack downs and trims, tack down and trim. You have 4 of them. And then this last tack down and trim, and then guess what? Template and quilting stitch. So you're just going to arrow through. If you can't get to it through your progress bar, you're going to arrow through. Not a big deal. That didn't take long. And we're going to do one last one. And then we'll do the 2 filler blocks, although we have 4 filler blocks. me telling them they were a good boy, good girl? And what ran right by me. Like my sewing room's kind of in the middle of the house. And so I thought they were running right to me, and then they ran right by. Naughty. All right, last one. I'm going to go ahead and just trim this off right here. Easy peasy. Easy peasy and fun. I think these are super fun. It was nice kind of figuring it out too. And don't forget, like, it's very rare for me to have stitched any of this out beforehand. This is usually me doing it for the first time just because, honestly, I don't have time to be doing these twice. The projects come out so fast. I'm always on to the next one. All right, now we have to catch up. I can touch inside my progress bar, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go next. And there we go. Here is batting. So I'm going to do this. Batting and background. But I'm not going to place anything yet. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oops. I didn't want that thread in there, but that's okay. Looks gorgeous. Take this out. We're going to put the white thread in. I mean, I would stitch everything with this. I have 6,000 meters of it. But if you're really going to hang out, you want to hang out with the low maintenance boyfriend, right? Not the one that looks good is fun to look at, hang out with a little while. But I'm going to go low maintenance. Okay, I'm going to skip the next step. Next step here is tack down of my batting. Placement. I do want that one just so I place my fabric down right. This is the tack down of your background. Let's spray our fabric too. So here's my batting. Wait, why do I have extra? How many of these are we doing? 4, right? Do I need to do more? I have an extra one. Maybe it goes to something else. Did I put the wrong thing down? No, looks good. Batting first. Fabric next. Make sure it covers the whole square. You have the placement stitch, and they make it a little bit bigger. And now, skip some steps. We don't want to do the tack down of the background because you have to pull the fabric forward. And we don't want to do that yet. And we're not doing the template because we decided it was a waste of time. We are going to do the trim line. These are cute. And gently make sure you're not cutting that batting in the back. Now we're going to use that trim line as your placement. See, it's sticking to my fingers because I sprayed it. Get your spatula. Stitch. Make sure it's stitched down on one side, and then you can just hold it on the other. No fingers. No fingers under there. I don't care if you use a chopstick. This is just fancy. I used to just have a chopstick. All Koreans have chopsticks, right? Everyone's got a chopstick. Or if you ever go to the restaurant, you can save your chopsticks. But now I'm fancy, and I use my fancy spatula. And I actually got these because I thought I was going to use them with my scan and cutting, but I don't. I actually really like the Scan and Cut, the Brother Scan and Cut specific spatula better than this. because it was just wider, longer, even flatter. But I just use these now for everything else in my sewing room. I just use it like a stiletto. Okay, next trim line. Okay, lay this down, slide this on, and this is the one. This is the one that wants to get you. Last trim and placement. Just fold it back and hold it back so you can see the batting underneath so you don't accidentally cut it, the batting. And if you do accidentally cut it, not a big deal. I mean, look, it's just like a little corner. That's not going to make or break your project. All right. So hold it where it's stitching down. Once it's secure, you can move your finger out of the way or your spatula or whatever. And last thing we have to do is the quilting stitch. And then these are done. All right. Let me change out my thread on top. We are going to go backwards some steps to get to that quilting stitch. If you have a progress bar, you can touch right inside the progress bar as long as you're on that screen where you go forward and backward stitches. You can't just touch inside the progress bar. It's just for viewing unless you're in the right screen. So I'm going to just, I can tell that's my quilting. It's the biggest, it's green. And since I'm in this screen where you can go forward and backward stitches, I can just get, there it is. Quilting stitch and go. And then we're going to do the mittens. So you need to find your fabric. There's two. Am I reading this right? Because I'm not seeing the filler blocks on with any other background quilting other than the mittens. Yeah. So 2 purple and 2 plaid. 2 purple, 2 plaid. And, uh-oh, did I cut my batting? 2 purple, 2 plaid. Oh, I don't see my filler block batting. Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to cut We're done with those. I'm going to cut 2 like little itty bitty pieces of batting. You don't need to watch this. It's boring. And I cut, like I said, I cut 2 1/8. Just a little bit bigger. A tad. Be right back. Just keep it on. Okay, there are my 4 pieces. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I wonder what I should do with the purple. Purple's so pretty. I'm going to go ahead and say okay, and we're going to go to the next one. So we're done with all of that. I'm just going to kind of touch in here. We're still in there. Let's just go forward this way. Forward. This is all the tack downs and trims for the corners. Here's the block all the way around. Here's the pieces we're not doing. And then we're on to the next. This is going to be tack down of your background. Hang on 1 second. Hello. I'm live streaming. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Be safe. Bye. Okay, ready? I like almost said bye mid-sentence. Okay, let me put in my next color. You forgot to put the white border around the last snowflake. What? You're right. Oh my God, thank you so much because I need that to trim. I totally skipped that step. Okay, let me put in my white thread, and thank you so much for saying that, Miss Jenna. I need all the help I can get. Yeah, I didn't do that. Skipped it. Got excited. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to do the next step. And then I skip. Let me see if I can get that threaded. It's perfect because I'm in the hoop still. And I could do it out of the hoop and take a picture and all of that. But I want to go back to the black stitching in here. And that's covering everything up. So let's see if I can. It is right there, that black. So, okay. There we go. There's the black outline stitching. Thank you so much. Oops. Sometimes it, like that looks like it's wrapped around the foot. Patrick just said, I was like, yes, I'm live feeding. And then he just kept talking. It looks like it's stitched around the foot, so I'm just going to go ahead and make sure it's not. Oh my God, you saved me! Thank you, Jenna. Yeah, that matters. That like outline stitch, you definitely want to, you need it to fussy cut to. It's a big deal. Okay, now we're going to skip ahead. All right, and you can confirm. You can see where the little hash mark is, that little green T. That's where it wants to start and stitch. I'm just going to do these one at a time because they're going to be easy peasy. Let me find the batting that I just had and lost in my frenzy of, oh my God, I forgot. And I think it's the mitten for all of these. It doesn't say 4. It doesn't say, does it say make 4 filler blocks? It doesn't say how many, but I'm just going to do all 4 with the mittens. Unless I'm supposed to do something else. I'm missing a step somewhere. Let me know if you've done this already and you feel like I am missing something. Speak up. I need the help. Jenna, you stitching with us? Girl, you stitching too? You guys are probably like, well, maybe I would have stitched if somebody sent me an invitation, told me we were going to be doing this today. I know. I'm barely getting through the days these days, so I'm so sorry. Let's put this down. Oh, wait, we don't want to put that down yet. We're going to do the background placement. You don't want to put it down if you're going to stitch the background placement, because it's just the foot's going to get caught under there and drag everything around. So you want both blues, step 1 and step 3, and then the last step, which is the quilting. Okay, now we're going to place. And you know, the other thing I might do is I might do those steps and then put my quilting thread in so I don't have to keep changing my thread. These I could have done with, raviolis. These I could have done color group because they're not overlapping. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next ones, the placements, so that I don't have to, so then I can put the quilting thread in and just do all of that at once. So I'm going to do both of the blue steps for the next one. So this is the batting placement line. It's important that you learn how to navigate, that you can like skip steps, go back, go forward. Now it wants to do the batting tack down. We don't need that step. I'm going to fast forward to the background placement. I'm going to do that. And then we'll do all the quilting all at once so I don't have to keep changing my thread. Whoop! Sorry about that. Camera fell. I'm going to put this down. And I'll put this down. Make sure it's outside of that background placement. And that it looks like a ravioli. And let's go ahead and we are going to do, we do need to do the background tack down because we're going to fussy cut to this. And I have to go back and do it on the other one. I didn't do it on that one. Sorry. Just jumping around. You will fussy cut to this. We're going to go back and do it on this one. So I'm going to go back. This goes back. Back. Back, because I have to get to the first one. There, and back to the first one. There, and that's the tack down. So do a combination of looking at your screen, seeing where your needle is. We want this stitch because we'll fussy cut to this. Okay, now we're ready for the quilting. I'm going to go ahead and put in my mint because he's so cute. And then I'll rehoop and we'll do the other 2 filler blocks. Or should we do those later? Maybe we'll do those later and just start the pinwheels so you guys can see how the pinwheels are done. I will probably film the borders, which is better for me because sometimes I can be stressed about those. I need to focus. And I'm wishing I didn't pre-cut my inner border strips, but I did. Okay, mitten, and then we'll do the mitten on the other side. Okay, fast forward. We've already done all of these steps. We just want the quilting right in the very end. I'm just going to touch here in the... And there it is. What did I put on my spreadsheet for the pinwheels? I think I had them in the 5x7. Let's see. Pinwheels. Because when I do my spreadsheet, I actually think. I go, okay, how are we going to do this? Yeah, so I do have it in the 5x7 that I'll do one at a time in the 5x7. So let me go ahead and grab that hoop. We are done with these. I might hoop up and do, but now, you know what? So your homework, you're going to have to do the other two. So you're going to have to do the other two that are going to be the blue plaid. And I'm going to hoop up in my other 5x7 to do the pinwheels. 5x7. There's my lonely pretzel. Now I got to find my itty bitty to run up and down. There we go. How is everyone? You guys all good? I love talking to Patrick. If we're not together, then usually we're on the phone together. Okay, one big top and bottom. And ideally for me, the fabric just needs to be big enough to cover over the magnets. And I don't even care if it's covering over the magnets fully. That's right. I said it. And if I get a little buckle, I'll just take it off and do it again. Perfect. Looks great. Not going to slide it on yet because I was just in the whatchamacallit, the 7x12. So if I load it now, it's probably going to tell me to change to a bigger hoop because I still have the design on my screen. But I'm going to go ahead and hit the home key. That's going to delete what's on my screen. And we'll do the other ones in just a little bit. Let me make room for my sitting. This is what I sit on. I sit on this ottoman. And that way, when the land sharks want to be with me, there's room for them. Because literally, I used to stitch on a little teeny tiny stool, and the land sharks would try to get on the stool with me. It was ridiculous. So now I stitch. I thought, like, should I get a small little couch or a little bench? I thought about doing that too. The things we do to accommodate our pets. Okay. Ready? So this is not one that you can piece in the hoop and add the background quilting to later because you have to sew the two pieces together. So let's go to our pinwheels. Here's pinwheels. So you have to stitch them together like this, and then you have to cut them out and actually sew them with the machine. But we are going to piece these, and then you do two hoopings. So there's going to be this hooping for this pinwheel, make 2 blocks. Yes. And then there's going to be another hooping of this to make this pinwheel. Oh, let's go ahead and I just do it on the muslin too. Let's load our design. And I might get just this one stitch together. I have a girlfriend who's coming over at 2 o'clock, so I have exactly 29 minutes left. Let's go ahead and set that. And I'm going to choose my hoop size. So I'm going to come here to my settings, and now I'm going to choose the 5x7. And you're going to see I can actually go a little bit faster. It's a magnetic hoop, but I can go 900 stitches per minute in this hoop. And I think we're ready to go. That's all going to just be placements, tack downs, so on and so forth. So the first one's going to stitch out your template. Let me go. You can see, choose a light color. Actually, they're asking you to do, yeah, they just said choose a color you can see. I'll do pale mist. Magic mint. I'm going to do this. And this is just going to be a lot of flipping and folding. And I got to touch embroidery on my screen and start. First thing it's going to do is like a little template stitch. Grab your fabric. You are looking for snowflake and light blue. So you're looking for snowflake fabric and light blue fabric. You're going to have 4 of each. This is left over from before. I'm just going to tuck this all the way to the back so I don't lose it. Get rid of that. We'll just do that for now. So you have a little template up here. So it's stitching out the template right now, but this shows you the order in which you lay down your fabric. So you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just like a clock starting over here. That's what we're going to lay down first. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to lay down this piece first. So it's going to be a piece of snowflake fabric. You want to cover over, just center it to this line and then bring it over a little bit. You just want to make sure you're covering that whole thing. Let's see where it's going to do the, yeah, that should be fine. And just make sure that the needle is above and on the fabric. This is going to be your trim placement line. First piece I sprayed, so it's just going to stick. And now this is your trim line. So you're going to go ahead and trim to the right. And I could have put it back. I could have put it this way a little bit more, but there's still enough. Okay, that trim line now becomes your placement line. So you are going to grab one of your pieces of the blue. I've selvaged over here, so I'm going to be mindful of that. You want to center it to the placement line. So my placement line, you don't want to be too far to the right, too far to the left. Just look at where the stitches are and center your fabric to that. Same thing we did before. Get your spatula, because you have to hold it down right here where it starts stitching and all the way at the other end. So if you're spraying it like I'm spraying it, you don't want the fabric to stick to the bottom of the foot. And that's your 1/4 inch seam. We're going to fold this back. I finger fold semi-aggressively. And then because I sprayed it, it'll stick down. There we go. Now it's going to do the next trim line. And I did SF 101 all these pieces. I think that's what the instructions say. What I don't like about that is it makes everything pretty thick. So I think just to cut that, I might grab, let's grab these. I'm going to grab a pair of heavier scissors. We're going to just trim. And then it'll be even thicker when we, imagine that line goes straight. Straight up. And then you're also trimming this right here. So just imagine that line is straight. Okay. That is your trim line. It's now your placement line. So you're going to grab one of your snowflake pieces of fabric. You're going to lay that down. So each stitch is going to be dual purpose. So center it. Here's this stitch. I'm centering it to my fabric. And if you don't want any shadowing of that fabric through it, instead of laying it right there where you're going to see some of it peeking out, you're going to just move your fabric all the way over to the right. I mean, I moved it maybe 1/8 of an inch more. You're going to move it over there, and that'll take care of any of that shadowing through. Uh-oh, hang on, my battery is running low on my computer. I'm going to unplug this, my phony phone, and I'm going to plug it in to my computer. Hang on, I might be hitting the filming arm. They're bouncing around. There we go. All right. Okay. Now we're going to take this and we're going to fold it over. Finger fold, press it down. We're going to do the trim line first. And then we're going to trim, and then we're going to place. I usually trim all of this. Like anything that's like considered like part of that line, I go ahead and trim. Now that trim line is your placement line, and pay attention because it starts here and goes to here. Okay, so you're going to center to that. All right. But that's starting to get thick. If I did it again, I would not SF 101 these light blue pieces. Just too thick. Especially like right here. It is chunky. This here is chunky. Part of me wants to like cut it away, but it's all stitched down, so I can't really. But when it goes to do the quilting over this part, that is some chunky stuff. Okay, now it's going to go ahead and do the outline stitch of the top half. And then we're going to do the bottom half. I'm going to trim a little of this away so it's not in the way of the other part down here. We're just going to do that part. And top half is done. We will fussy cut to this, and then we'll sew this half to this half once we're done with both of them. All right, next. Remember, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's our next one, and that piece is going to be, let's just make sure it's white. I'm pretty sure it's going to be white. If I'm just looking at our instructions just to make sure. Where's the stitch? Okay, so this is what we just did. This outline stitch. Trim the fabric close to the bottom stitch line. I trimmed it close, but not like right on it. And now we're going to start with a piece of snowflake fabric on this triangle right here. So let me grab snowflake. I'm going to take it to this and bring it all the way over. And that goes right side up. The first piece is the only piece that goes right side up. Everything else goes right side down. I had to finish this, right? We got to go on to the next thing. Okay, trim. That is your trim line. Once you're done trimming, it's your placement line. Let me spray my other two pieces. Okay, so we're going to put this down. We're going to center it to that stitch. We're going to fold it over, and then we're going to do another trim line. And then I might trim away some of that bulk in there with this one. Okay, this is going to be a trim line. It's going to go straight down. We're going to trim everything to the left of it. And you're going to lay down your snowflake fabric. All right. Okay, that's our trim line. Now it's our placement line. Fabric down, fabric centered, a little bit over the blue, so there'll be no shadowing through. Start, hold, front and back. Start and finish. Flip and fold. We're going to fold this over. Aggressive finger fold. Tack it down. Now it's going to do the trim line, which is also your placement line. And then we're just going to lay your last piece of blue fabric down. Sometimes it gets a little thick for the snips, and then I'll go to a curved pair of scissors. This is just my curved straight, because my curved, I'd have to actually get up, and I didn't want to do that. God forbid I get up. Center it. Centered. Yes, it is. Slide the hoop on. Yes, we are. Hold it front, start and finish. Where it's starting and where it's ending. And then flip and fold. I know, Patrick was just going to ski. He was going to ski. He's a good boy. He was going to ski and then we were going to go to the store. And the weather's just been so crazy here. And I asked him why his favorite resort here is the Palisades, which used to be Squaw. And I was like, why aren't you skiing at Squaw today? He said it was going to be epic there. I go, why aren't you skiing there? Why are you skiing at Rose? You don't know when you're going to be able to ski again. It's supposed to get warm this weekend. And it's high and dry again. I might take my mallet to that and pound that. And I was like, he said he had promised people he was going to go ski with them. And so that's why he was going to Rose. I was like, well, go to Rose and then go to the Palisades. I think he was so excited because he was going to come home and just go to work with me. All right. That's it. Those are the pinwheels. You're going to press and you're going to trim. You're going to fussy cut right around that stitch, and then you're going to sew them together and quilt them. So what I think you should do next is do the second one of this because it's fresh in your mind, and then finish your 2 filler blocks. And then you're ready to put the top together, and then I will do a video with those border hoops, or the inner and outer border as well. I'm going to hoop up to, what time is it? Oh, I've got 12 more minutes before my girly friend comes. I'm going to finish those, and then I'll rehoop and do, because these are going to take longer. I have enough time to do the littles. The littles I have time for. So, let's go ahead and rehoop. You think that's, I think I have room. I've never hooped with them coming down that far, but I'm going to try it. I've been cutting this to 11.5. I think 11 would be plenty. The width. Oh, that's just all my thread. Who cares? It was lidded. Oops. Backwards. I'm juggling several projects right now, so I'm using my big thread holder. When I'm just doing one project, I just use my thread trays. Okie dokie. Let's do those last 2. And I'm going to cut this off. Cut these 2 off. I'll cut right down the middle. And I don't trust myself to watch. It's kind of like little barrettes. Let's get this back on. And I'm just going to load the last 2 and we'll snug them right up to the very top. So, home, embroidery, pocket, design database transfer, and I need mitten, set, choose your hoop size. So you can know where you can place. Otherwise, I would have no idea because I was on the other, I was on a 5x7. Okay, make a copy. Perfect. Embroider. All right. I'm going to color group this time because these aren't touching. Layout, color group. That is batting placement. I'm pretty close. I mean, I think it's going to be fine, but I have to fold back that fabric. Oh, you're not even seeing that. Sorry. Look how close I am to that other one. So I'm just going to tape back the part that's sticking out, and then we should be fine. Because this is the placement for the batting. Placement for the background fabric is going to go out even a little bit further. There we go. Now this is, we're going to skip. This next step is the, got to go here to this button. That's tack down for the batting. That's placement for the background, and that's what we want. We do want this. Risky behavior. Where's my spray tan? Do you like how I tried to say goodbye to you and then I couldn't stop stitching? Before we couldn't color group because I had loaded the other designs that were layered on top of each other. But now these don't do that. So now I can put all of this down all at once. Here's my raviolis. And I am going to do the mint thread again. I think having the background placement fabric is important too. And that way you can make sure that this fabric, the background fabric, is around it. The new cuts are a little bit bigger, which is nice. All right, I'm putting in my quilting thread, which is my mint green Hala Shimmer. And then the only thing I'll have left to do is my other pinwheel, sewing them together and quilting them. I'm a little bit worried about the big lump in the middle. Who quilted them and it was no problem with that big lump? I am going to do this. This is going to be the tack down for the background because we're going to, whoop, didn't thread. Tack down for the background because we're going to fussy cut to this. Let's go back to the very beginning of that. We'll see you later, Miss Betty. I'm almost out of here too. Okay, now we're just going to do the quilting stitch. Easy peasy, especially if you can color group. because then you don't have to go back and forth through all those steps. So if I did it over again, maybe what I would have done is just done the 4 filler, the 4 piece blocks separately, and then the 4 filler blocks so that you could color group the 4 filler blocks. And then you wouldn't have to be fast forwarding or going back steps or forward. Yeah, that was smarter, Cindy, to do all 4 of these all together, because then you can color group the whole thing. I could only color group these last 2. And that's it. That is it for me for today. I will try and do my borders. If I don't get my borders done this week, guess what? I'll do them next Monday. So I'm planning on live feeding next Monday. If I don't get those done, then I'm trying to think of what I'll do. I have other UFOs, so I will probably be here next week anyways. Have a great day. Thanks for sharing your time with me. I'll see you at the store tomorrow.